Every stylish guy knows what takes an outfit from good to great is the attention to detail. And nothing completes a look like the right belt. You know what ruins a great outfit fast? A worn out belt that doesn't fit right. Most guys are still rocking belts with stretched out holes that either pinch your waist or sag and throw off the whole look. That's why I'm excited to partner with today's sponsor, Anson Belt and Buckle. This family-run company has been around since 2009 and they've completely reimagined how belts should work. Instead of holes, Anson Belt uses a micro-adjustable track system with quarter-inch increments. That means you get the perfect fit every single time. And once you feel that kind of comfort and precision, you'll never want to wear a traditional belt again. The best part, you can mix and match every buckle with any strap. One box set gives you 9 different belt combos, so you'll get to maximize versatility with way less clutter in your closet. But this isn't just about style, it's about feeling more comfortable, more confident, and more put together every time you get dressed. Anson Belt moves with you, so whether you're sitting, standing, or on the go, you're always comfortable and always looking sharp. I've been wearing mine nonstop, and honestly, it's the best belt I've ever owned. Once you try it, you'll see exactly what I mean. You won't go back. And here's why you can trust them. They're still proudly family-owned. They've earned over 40,000 5-star reviews, and every belt is backed by a lifetime guarantee on functionality. They stand behind every product they make, and once you try one, you'll understand why. And because Anson Belt and Buckle is sponsoring today's video, when you click the link in the description or scan this QR code to build a box set, you'll get 2 bonus pieces, a buckle and a strap completely free. That's 3 buckles and 3 straps, which you can mix and match into 9 unique belt combos all in one box. It's an exclusive deal you won't get anywhere else, so click the link, build your set, and upgrade your belt game today. It's go time. What's going on, family? How you doing? Welcome to Lapeef Let's Talk. We're going to introduce the crew. We got Mr. Trey Smooth, Miss Pearl, Lady Di, Dr. Lady O, Heath, True, Willie, me, myself on the PJR. Welcome to Lapeef Let's Talk. What's going on, family? What's going on? How y'all doing?
Cool.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
I'm good.
It's good to see you guys, man. Happy Thursday. One day away from Friday. Looking forward to the weekend. Got a busy weekend, but nevertheless, I'm still looking forward to it. If you guys haven't already hit the like button, also make sure you subscribe to the channel. Shout out to the sponsor, Anson Belt and the company. A link is pinned to the top of the chat as well as in the description. Let's get our belt game in order. With that being said, we got a fantastic show ahead for you guys. We're going to have a deep conversation today, and then we're going to open it up with a little ratchetness on the back end of it. So got to get the people what they want, a little bit of serious talk, and then we'll go from there. The main topic tonight is you're not healing, you're hiding. You're not healing, you're hiding. Some folks might say it's pretty deep there. But what comes to mind when you hear that? You're not healing, you're hiding.
Sounds like a drunk person.
It's like a who?
A drunk person.
I said, don't start now.
I'm joking.
You're not healing, you're hiding. It got to be a long monologue. I'm just curious. When you saw the title, like what comes to mind? Try drinking apple juice, but go ahead.
I feel like it's a person who is not willing to admit their wrongs and take accountability for the things that have happened. So they deflect.
Okay. All right. What about you, Dr. Lady O? We're going to make sure we keep you talking tonight, lady.
My throat scratch. I think my granddaughter got me sick. Shoot. Yeah, you said we doing what now? We healing? We hiding? We not healing, we hiding?
You're not healing, you're hiding. What comes to mind?
Oh, people on social media, on TikTok, the they're using this as a way to cover up what they really going through.
All right. What about you, True?
Yeah. Somebody just probably just what they say, you got the mask on, hiding the mask, representing one way, but you're broken on the inside. So
Okay.
on the
Willie?
inside,
Run the question to me one more time. I was on the phone with my attorney when you first started.
Okay. What comes to mind when you hear the topic, the main topic, you're not healing, you're hiding?
Oh shit! Just what we was talking about with Cardi B yesterday. She not healing. She getting pregnant.
Okay. What about you, M. White?
Yeah, I can agree with everybody else here. You probably looking to put a band-aid on the issue, so you hiding the issue someplace. That's what it sounds like. I'm not really sure the context of the whole conversation, but yeah, it does sound like that from what I heard.
It could be anything, man. I mean, go ahead, Miss Pearl.
I agree with everybody else. It's an unwillingness, or maybe it may be unconscious to some people, but for those who know, it's an unwillingness to unpack your trauma, accountability, everything else everybody else said.
Yeah. Just so that we kind of set the tone a little bit, as we had these discussions, let's make sure we try to find something to say. Don't say I agree with everybody else. I want y'all to actually think and not just catch it on the fly. So let's.
You talking to me, Jay?
I'm not talking to you in particular, because it happen all the time. People are like, yeah, I agree with. What's the panel saying? Yeah. Go ahead, Trev. I think that our main issue is, and any problem-solving issue, first you have to identify the problem. And I think that the main reason why most of us can't heal is because we can't even realize that we have an issue in the first place. And what I find is that sometimes it's tough for the people that are close to you or around you to give you that coat pull for you to even be able to be receptive, because especially if someone has like some damn attitude problem or they're ultra sensitive. A lot of that is due to trauma, but because of that trauma, it's hard to even address it sometimes, because when you do, you have to walk on eggshells. You're like, damn, are they going to be insulted? Are they, how are they going to take this? Are they just going to lash out on me? Or they're not going to talk to me no more? They're not going to fuck with me no more. That's how we, you know what I'm saying? That's people we deal with. So I think that's the major issue right there. So you can't really heal if you can't identify the problem and you're hiding the problem and you don't realize there's a problem.
I got another thing I was thinking of. So you know how people would be like, I'm not dating right now because I'm working on myself, and then they'll forever be working on themselves. Then that could be a version of hiding and just removing yourself completely out the dating market, as opposed to actually doing whatever work is necessary to get you in a space where you can interact with people in a positive manner. Natural reaction to shield yourself in some way from things that's uncomfortable, especially if you've been like hurt traumatically from it, like really, really bad. I don't think most people run head first into situations that they've seen pan out bad for them. So yeah.
Also, I think people are afraid to heal too, because it's like they're comfortable with being in the place that they were, and going into a new space, it may be hard for them to kind of adapt to it. Some people are not adaptable. So
We're starting to unpack it now. I like what I'm hearing. It's never us, though. It's never us. It's always everybody else. It's easy for us to point the finger and to evaluate and diagnose others, but it's never us. And I've been doing this since 2019, and I've actually seen a lot. I've seen a lot, up and down, left and right, everything. So I ran across Raquel Hopkins. Are you guys familiar with her? She's a capacity expert, certified coach, and therapist. So I ran across some of her videos, and we're gonna unpack some of those, man. It was quite interesting. I always like the other side. The other side is people who actually put the time in to really understand what's going on with people, how people operate, how the mind works. We had Brother Jeff up here as well. he was one of those guys, and I think she's one of those girls. So I'm gonna go ahead and run this clip. Let's actually unpack. Again, don't repeat. I agree with the panel. Actually think whatever it is that you want to think. And if it just so happen to be the same thing, then it is what it is. But let's really get the people some. And maybe we can unpack some of our traumas on the panel. Maybe it was something that we didn't really realize that we was doing or that we refused to accept. So, yeah, including me. But here we go. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's rock out.
What excuse language sounds like. So, sorry I'm late. I have ADHD. I can't do this because of my anxiety. Ownership and substance sounds like I live with ADHD. It means time management is a challenge, but I've built alarms and planning systems to keep me accountable. If I slip, here's how I'll course correct. I live with anxiety, so speaking up in meetings can feel overwhelming, so I prepare notes ahead of time to make sure my contributions are clear. You notice the difference? The excuse language puts the weight on others to adjust for you. Ownership language shows that you're actively building capacity within your reality. This is the deeper line between fragility and growth. Fragility says, because of this, I can't. Growth says, because of this, I'm learning how. Your diagnosis is context. Who you become through it, that becomes your core.
I don't know about y'all, but sometimes when people be talking that deep shit, I be having to replay it back. Like, what she say? I'm just gonna play it one more time. It ain't that long. It's only like 50 seconds. I know y'all got short attention spans. Here we go.
Excuse language sounds like. So, sorry I'm late. I have ADHD. I can't do this because of my anxiety. Ownership and substance sounds like I live with ADHD. It means time management is a challenge, but I've built alarms and planning systems to keep me accountable. If I slip, here's how I'll course correct. I live with anxiety, so speaking up in meetings can feel overwhelming, so I prepare notes ahead of time to make sure my contributions are clear. You notice the difference? The excuse language puts the weight on others to adjust for you. Ownership language shows that you're actively building capacity within your reality. This is the deeper line between fragility and growth. Fragility says, because of this, I can't. Growth says, because of this, I'm learning how. Your diagnosis is context. Who you become through it, that becomes your core.
She talked about excuse language. The question I want to pose to the panel is, what would it sound like to take ownership in a tough moment? What would it sound like to take ownership in a tough moment?
I was sitting there laughing because I was kind of having a debate with somebody just today about how you may have a personal flaw and you are unwilling to course correct, like the young lady just explained, and you expect other people to understand it. Like I really hate when people say, "Oh, well, you know, I'm sensitive." That's that type of thing made me want to slap somebody in the back of the head. Like, okay, that's a personal thing. So you expect everybody else to compensate because you're sensitive, but you realize you're sensitive, and then you still won't correct the fact that you're sensitive, right? And a lot of us, we have our issues with communication, but I always tell people, like, sometimes you just got to give people the benefit of the doubt. You can't take everything the worst possible way. Yeah, she was kind of killing it because she obviously recognized her issue, which was her ADHD, and she figured out if she was talking about, you know, first person or whatever. But either way, the explanation was great. I know you had a question in there too. I just had to get that out. Pause. But I'll answer the question. Could you present it again for me?
The question is, what would it sound like to take ownership in a tough moment?
Oh, taking ownership is admitting when you're wrong and actively trying to correct that issue. So let's just say we took the same exact scenario I just spoke of, like a person's sensitive. Then ownership would have been like, you know what? That's my bad. Sometimes I'm a little too sensitive, right? And then I could receive that a lot better. I could still keep it in mind, which I would try to, but at least you took onus of it, if that makes sense.
All right. Go ahead, Lady Di.
So kind of like before you take ownership, you have to like ask questions to whoever is approaching you with the issue. So usually accountability starts with someone telling you, oh, you did this wrong. Because sometimes you tell yourself you did something wrong, that's kind of like unlikely. But someone telling you, hey, you need to try to fix this. I see this error or whatever. You ask questions just to get clarification so you could understand where the person's coming from. And then from there, if you get what they're saying, sometimes it takes time, but when you get what they're saying, then you basically take time to fix the issue at that tough. It could be tough for you. So you take time to fix the issue and don't put like these crazy expectations on yourself, basically saying, oh, let me fix this in a week. Sometimes it don't take a week. Sometimes it takes months. Sometimes it takes years. But if you're actively practicing and trying to get better at the issue, then eventually you'll get there. I think a lot of us put too much heavy expectations on us, which can make it tough. But we have to understand that we're human. We're going to make mistakes. We're not perfect, but we're trying to achieve, a goal. That's all I have.
All right. Somebody about to say, go ahead.
Yeah. So I think an example would be like, say you got $1 million worth of jewelry on and you walking through the hood and you get robbed, or someplace and you get robbed. Taking accountability for that would be like, I know that I shouldn't have got robbed. However, the things that I could have done prior to this moment to prevent this is not walk around with $1 million worth of jewelry. That was dumb on my behalf. I could have hired personal security if I was going to do that. Like, so I kind of look at it like the steps that you take to ensure you don't put yourself in that same situation, regardless of who's ultimately at blame, the portion that you played in creating conflict or the issue, you figuring out a way to solve that. That's what I personally do.
All right. Go ahead, True.
I'm sitting here thinking about this question. The only thing that comes to mind, JR, is what doesn't sound like taking ownership is prefacing a potential mental ailment or something along them lines before you engage with somebody. Like my ADHD or my anxiety doesn't sound like ownership to me. It sounds like you're giving someone like a subject line, or you're introducing them to the nonsense that they're going to interact with. So I don't, and I think people do it a lot. I think they may do it intentional, maybe not, but that doesn't sound like ownership to me at all. And I know it's become a commonplace in the way people interact now. It's like, oh, excuse my behavior by my ADHD. That's what came to mind for me. I don't know if I answered the question correctly.
All right. Let me pose another question to the panel. Where do we rely on labels or moods to excuse behavior? You want to answer the question, Bo? Go ahead.
Wait. Okay. I was like, I didn't even get a chance to answer it. But so personally, it is, now this is something that I had to overcome. When you do something to someone, when you have wronged them intentionally or unintentionally, right? And they bring that problem to you. You can't make excuses. Like it angers me when people, well, if you hadn't done this, then that wouldn't have happened. Or if this hadn't happened, then I wouldn't have done that. Making excuses, basically making yourself the victim to some arbitrary situation, instead of just saying, you know what, that wasn't right, because it's not your time to bring up something else, something they did or something someone else did. It's your time to be like, you know what, my bad. Like I didn't mean to, or I meant to and it wasn't right. And now I understand. Like you have to admit to yourself that what you did is wrong. But people like to use something else as a scapegoat and make themselves the victim so that they can get out of the situation, get out of taking accountability for it, and just owning that you hurt them, own that you didn't do something right, and it's okay. Just do it better the next time. Like, ask questions. How could I have done that better? What could I do different in the future? How would you like for me to fix that? Because you playing the victim is not going to make that person feel better, and then there's a strain on the relationship after that. That's a hard lesson I had to learn.
All right, go ahead, Dr. Ladio.
Well, first of all, you definitely want to what's that question? It's about how do you deal with the take ownership during a tough moment?
The question is, what would it sound like to take ownership in a tough moment?
Okay. You have to admit the mistake, or you have to, number one, you want to bring your tone back. I know it's my struggle. Once I get triggered, but you definitely want to take ownership of what was wrong. But that's one part of it. You let me see what else you got to do here. You definitely want to find some humility in your mistakes that you made, and you want to self-correct from there. You know, I ain't talking that much because I do got a little sore throat, so I do apologize for that part. But
you're not alone there. I'm under the weather, but we push through. Go ahead, Willie.
Yeah, I agree with Bo. It's one of the I've had to learn the hard way that when someone has an issue with you, it's not your time to say, well, bitch, you did it too, or nigga, you did the same shit. So it's it's just something that comes with growth and maturation. I'm typically though I'm not I don't apologize for anything if I've done it, because 99% of the time it was intentional. So the people who are in those spaces where I apologize to them when I or will admit that I've done something unintentional to them, I try to make sure I listen and own it right away. Like, especially with my kids, I'm let them know, like, hey, sometimes parents, we fuck up too. But if I tell them to go find something and I say it's somewhere and then he can't find it and he's getting mad because he thinks I'm gonna get mad at him for not finding it, and it was somewhere else, I apologize. Say, hey, yeah, my bad, man, it was over here. So I'm not too big to apologize to the people that matter, but the ones that don't, fuck them.
Just fuck them. Go ahead, Miss Pearl.
I agree with everybody else. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
I have people that went already. I want to add proactiveness, like active proactiveness, like in the moment, not more like a reflection or a deflection. Like if I actively know I'm doing something wrong, I don't want to just say, well, I lack communication, and then I intentionally don't communicate and say, well, I told you I didn't communicate. It's almost like I gave you a disclaimer for the behavior. So I would just say me being proactive and acknowledging, like everybody else was saying, but not only that, more so being like solution oriented. Like going back to what Lady Di was saying, like we have to ask ourselves questions. What am I doing wrong? How are my actions playing a role into this outcome? What can I do so that this doesn't occur again? What can I proactively do to contribute, right? A more positive outlook. So you definitely have to be solution oriented. And I think that takes clear communication. So we can acknowledge that we're doing something wrong, but I think if we don't know how to communicate, and I say like proactively commit to the solution, then I think we'll find ourselves in that same situation again. So I'm gonna land my plane with it.
Okay. Where do we rely on labels or moods to excuse behavior?
Well, if you keep, like, I guess, having the same behavior over and over again, then it's kind of like saying, okay, well, I have this. I think someone mentioned anxiety or whatever. you have this, so you have to how I see what y'all was saying, like you hate when people do this. Oh, this is my issue, and it's kind of giving them an excuse. But how you should do it to me is you tell yourself that you have this thing, so you could keep reminding yourself you need to fix it. Because I feel like if we're not addressing what we really have going on, it's never going to get fixed. So, like I mentioned, someone being drunk earlier, right? You have to admit. It's all about admitting, is what I'm saying. You have to admit that you are this, and then get to that space where you can, okay, I accept who I am. Let me figure out how I can make this better. So putting a label on something to me is not bad. It's just, this is what you are. It is what it is, and fix it. I don't see nothing wrong with it. It's just, I guess it depends. If the person just keeps doing the same thing over and over again, they're not trying to fix it. So, yeah.
I think it's when people use that zodiac sign nonsense, like, oh, I'm a Gemini, and then they get there and like, you about to deal with some nonsense. That's what I think, answering the question when you rely on labels. Like, anytime that your zodiac sign got some effed up behavior, and you hit people with that just so they can expect very little from you. That's what I think it looks like, JR.
The zodiac sign thing is so dumb anyway. It's not even real. So when some people say that, I'm like, are you serious right now? Are you joking? Like, get the fuck out of here with that. But I'm talking about something real. Like, you have a mental issue. Maybe they have a mental issue. I'm sorry. Anybody said that believes in the zodiac sign, I apologize. But that's just how I feel about it. I used to think, so I'm saying it's because I used to be into zodiac signs. Like, I'm a Virgo, right? And I used to say, okay, this is what it is. I used to read the daily horoscope. Okay, this is how my day is going to be. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be it. And then it came to, okay, Virgos, you belong with the Taurus. And I'm like, I've never dated a Taurus. Matter of fact, I'm not even married to a Taurus. And we've been married for so long now. So when I was seeing stuff like that, I'm like, this is dumb. Like, if you just want to say I'm this because I'm in this month, I'm in this bracket, cool. But when they was going too far with some of that stuff, it's just like, people need to stop believing it. I do understand people have different characteristic traits, but I do not believe it aligns with the month that you were born. But that's just my opinion.
I don't really believe in zodiacs, but like, I do believe in like balance at all means. So like, if you do something to me, I think I should be able to do an equal equivalent to you to kind of balance things out. And I think that's what they say, a Libra is a scale of balance. I don't know. I'm not a zodiac person, but I do get that thing. Like, the man to be going too hard this way, I'll try and pull it back to the middle. The woman to be going this, I'm trying to pull it back to the middle. So it probably is just a personality trait, but it does line up with that. But I don't believe in zodiacs either. So
when my daddy was fucking my mother, has no bearing on the man that I became. As soon as I hear a grown up use their zodiac sign, especially a man, as reference to why they do anything, think anything, feel anything, I have lost all interest in having any further communication with him, because that is going to be the most illogical nigga on earth. Like, really? we when people say like we rely on labels and moods, zodiac's a big one, but then moods too, ladies. When y'all are leaking, y'all act like, yo, well, I'm not in the mood because I'm bleeding. Oh, my stomach hurt, or I don't want to do this. And then guys, like, when y'all ain't had none in a while, y'all, sometimes we get a little aggressive too. Like, you're saying, we a little backed up. We ain't had our rib cages collapsed in a while. So now, we acting funny. So but I think everybody does it. I think the majority of people will say, well, they don't want to do something they know they need to do based on how they feel. And,
All
right, so here go.
Go ahead. My bad.
I got a real theory, right? So just follow me with it. I'm from Chicago. It get real cold in the winter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you born 9 months from out of the summer, you probably was a thing baby, and you might not have been raised with your parents in love. So you gonna have to be a little clingy, and some other character traits gonna come. But if you was born like, say, September-esque, then your parents was probably in love, because it's so cold. They had to be in the house with each other for multiple months to get pregnant, because it's too cold to dig yourself out of car spot, drive to somebody's house, then go lay up with them. So the odds are they would stay in the night over there for long periods of time. So you was conceived in love based off of that. And then
Nigga, I was conceived off of Valentine's Day. I'm a Scorpio. Scorpios was born from Valentine's Day fucking.
Well, that could go either way because the winter relationship might not have broke up yet, and somebody could have got a fling on Valentine's Day. You see the math? You see the math?
Yeah. Well, my parents were together for a minute. And
Oh, see, yeah, there we go.
They was together for a minute, and then when my mom finally let my dad get some, he got her pregnant the first time they had sex. And I'm their only child.
Let me ask you about the whole astrology thing, right? I'm not here to defend it, certainly, but do you think there's any less validity to that than there is any religion?
Yes.
Okay. Why? And which one?
I would think that the zodiac is significantly less valid than religion because, one, simply put, more people believe in religion than they do the zodiac.
So we going by the numbers. I think it's more hoes out here than there are good women. But
you can prove that,
right?
I mean, I don't have an issue with that either. But I mean, it's the kind of like.
And I think it's balanced.
No, I'm just asking because
I don't know, bro.
I mean, I think that most people are probably doing the wrong thing, right? So no matter how you spin it, right? If you're Muslim, then you can't possibly, believe in Christianity. Somebody's absolutely wrong, right? But the thing is, no one has anything to substantiate any of it. So there's nobody who could prove their religion. It's never been a time, and I don't know if there ever will, but no one can actually prove their religion. They can prove that they follow their religion, but no one can prove their religion. It's just not a thing. So what I'm saying, and I'm not here to defend it because I could care less about the zodiac signs. I don't really follow that either. But what I'm saying is that, people are really killing it. So I'm saying, is there any less validity to someone who's just faith-based, which is all just faith, right? I don't think it's any different.
For example, I know I don't really believe in it, but I would say this, that I see a lot of character traits amongst people I know who are certain zodiac signs. Sorry, lady, died, but every Virgo female I know is trifling or a whore. Every Pisces woman I know is a freak. Every Sagittarius.
You were doing so well, Willie.
I just said that to you in the chat. But
I know.
And that's the thing.
You gonna say that about Virgos?
I don't believe it. I just think it's a coincidence.
You're a Virgo, Bo?
I'm a Virgo. My birthday was 2 weeks ago.
And what's crazy is my two oldest sons are Virgos. So like I get along with I can't think of any like Virgo dudes I don't like, but again, I got a long list of Virgo women that every time I see them, like they make my ass itch. Like there's something wrong with the majority of them. But I don't believe in that though. I'm just saying, so we could actually make an argument.
So you just killed it, but damn near substantiated it at the same time.
At the same time.
I can find a coincidence between that. The fact that, I'm saying, if there's a certain type of woman I don't like, which tend to be like the promiscuous trifling whores, not saying the ones that I've encountered tend to be Virgos. So if there was something to it, that's what I was.
That's not true. I'm married. So
I don't know you. I'm talking about the ones that I know and I've met and interacted with. Like I have a child by one. Trust me, I'm a subject matter expert on how trifling a Virgo can be.
That's funny.
My grandma is August the 8th. My wife, August the 9th. My youngest daughter is August the 14th. And my oldest daughter is August the 24th. They all Leos. They act almost identical as far as how much they love Libras. I'm just saying, it's something there.
So
that was a lot of Thanksgiving penis being slung back in your family, G.
Yeah.
But
maybe it's the seasonal thing, like what White was saying, like you're born in this time and the cuddling aspect, the love and all that. Maybe it's too hot for the Leos. They act different. Virgos, every month is different. It's the weather, maybe.
Bo is the first Virgo that I've met in 20 years that I didn't immediately think soul pussy. Like by default. So I mean, I don't attribute it to anything, but I would just say that if we went through the chat and found like the unruly people, they probably a Virgo.
Hey, Willie, I think I'm starting to feel like you sold on the zodiac ship.
Just Virgos. Those are the only ones that I have. I have anything to say about because my experience with.
I think True was trying to ask Trey something. Go ahead, True.
Yeah. No, Trev, you polarize religion and zodiacs to say like one may be valid or one is invalid, but my outlook would be how do we validate anything? Like from that logic, that can go across boards of things that are theoretical or things that are based in a sense. I think like humanity over time has always journeyed out to prove concepts. But that's what I heard when you said it. I'm like, well, why polarize those things? I think everybody has a belief system, right, wrong, and different. They attach to something.
Right. No. So my whole point was, I don't think what I heard was people killing it, right? Like straight shutting that shit down. And again, I don't practice it. That's not where my faith lies. However, who are we to say that is any less valid than anyone else's religion? That is some people's faith. I'm familiar with some priestess and stuff who like are devoted with the school and all kind of extra stuff. It's not my thing, right? That's not what I believe in. But who are we to say, nah, that shit's trash, but this is what's hot, or this is what's real?
That can have opinions. You don't have to be any sort of authority position to have an opinion on anything. If that was the case, then we wouldn't be talking about the majority of stuff on this panel.
All right, so look, we could say, all right, so when someone says it's not real, then is that the position of a fact or an opinion?
It's an opinion, unless you can prove it.
If someone says something's not real, that's a factual statement. That is not. I don't think it's real. If you no. Listen to the wording carefully. That's not real. That's not an opinion. That's a fact. If you say I don't think that's real, that's likely not real. That's different. When you say it's not real.
If I say that God is not real, that's not a fact. That's my opinion.
You're presenting it as a fact. It doesn't matter if it's your opinion.
Well, regardless, that's not what we're talking about. We're saying if it is or it's not.
Well, that's exactly what I was talking about when I brought it up, though.
Like if someone says something isn't real, they are giving their opinion that they don't think it's real.
No, they are stating it as a fact. It
doesn't become a fact until they can prove it.
No, but you can still present something as a fact.
No, you can present something as a fact, but understand that intelligent people understand it's an opinion until it's proven. It's an idea. It's a hypothesis.
How many people do you think are intelligent, right? So if it's still stated as a fact, right? If we go to court, right, and then we say we parse our statements like that, then it would be perjury if it's not true. But it's presented as a fact. All I'm saying is that statement is presented as a fact, and that's not my opinion. That actually was presented as a fact.
So the thing about when you using court doesn't help your argument, it hurts it, because when you perjure something, it's when you knowingly say something that you know to not be true. So if you believe something to be true and you say that and you present it as fact, and they can't prove that you knew that it wasn't true, you didn't perjure yourself.
So all right, but you're still presenting it as, so if you're saying this, right, I don't believe this is real. That's cool. There's nothing wrong with that, because that's your opinion. But when you say this is not real, it's still your opinion. No way that you can say, nah.
That's like saying Jay-Z is a better rapper than Nas. That's somebody's opinion.
It is an opinion, but they present it as a fact.
It's still an opinion.
Like, yeah, take this walk with me. That the reason why I pose it like that. I'm glad this discourse is great, because okay, let's take the judicial system for example. Before there was law, there was dialogue. At some point, you have to take the dialogue and transition it into something that was solid, formidable, written, orchestrated, and agreed upon, which makes it now fact, agreed opinion, whichever, right? But everything almost starts that way. So when you pose religion against zodiac is the same thing. Prior to it being drafted, people sat around and formulated ideas based on what they thought, sun, moon, stars, whichever. So almost everything starts this way is what I'm saying. Outside of science and gravity and those things, when we're dealing with humans, that's across the board. Yeah, things are solid fact or belief system, whatever it may be. That's what I heard. And you guys going back and forth is kind of proving that point, that we all are going to have some level of belief system, but it came from somewhere. We make things solid. We make things fact outside of scientific things in nature. That was my whole.
Yeah, things that we could prove is now when theories can become facts once it's proven. So I definitely dig that. But what I was saying is that type of idea is none of it is factual. There's no religion that is factual. There's no true religion. We all may believe that, but none of us can substantiate that by any means. None of us. So all I'm saying is that this is one more faith.
We're alive. That is facts. They do have factual context that state the figures that were stated lived throughout history. Now, what they did, that meant we weren't there to see it. But then again, taking that logic, you have to do that across the board.
Well, no, that's what he's saying. Religion, not necessarily the people who are talked about, who are written about, but religion. I mean, religion literally is faith. Faith is something that you believe in without seeing. So that's what he means. Religion, literally, I mean, it's subjective. There is nothing to substantiate religion. But now the people who walk the earth, yeah, absolutely, sure. But everything else, faith is literally believing without seeing.
Taking that logic, that's what I'm saying. You can take that same logic towards the law. Like,
yeah, for sure.
That's all we did.
Yeah, you can.
Absolutely.
And I didn't. And you know what? Nah, true, for real. I'm not even here to argue against any of that. My only point was that I don't think that it's any less valid than anyone else's religion, because none of us can substantiate any religion. That's the only point. That's it.
Yeah. Got it. That's what's up. Work.
When you guys having this dialogue, it reminds me of just conversations that we have, like disagreements or trying to come together to compromise. So when people are having these talks, like, how does somebody know if they're like right in the moment? Is it a right or wrong, or is it just more so understanding?
There is no right and wrong in opinions. Like, opinions are personal and tailored to every individual. If you only time you can be right or wrong about something if that something is able to be verified as true or false. So I mean, like, again, I say the Dallas Cowboys are the greatest team in the world. You niggas might think something different. Neither one of us can prove. Right? Hey, don't do that. Your quarterback painted his nails. Anyway, like, that's my opinion. But then if I say that the Cowboys are the most valuable sports franchise in America, that's a fact. There's no argument that can be made against it. So, see the difference?
Yeah, go ahead, Lady Di.
I think it's more of understanding, and then of course, like, results. I'm a results-driven person. Like, if someone said, "This is how I made $10 million. I did these things." Right. And then multiple people said kind of the same thing. It's kind of like a poll. It's like a poll and a result together. This is what happened. This is what I did. You can do this. You can get the same result if you do the steps that I did. Right. I'm more of that. If it aligns in that way, then I could believe it. But facts are facts, kind of like what Willie was saying. 2 + 2 is 4. Like, okay, but if we're trying to get somewhere in life with other things that are not factual, and you're trying to change and have better, better life for yourself, achieve goals, then I just look at results instead of kind of your emotions. Emotions could take us in the wrong direction because you don't want to do something, or you feel this is not, some people go with vibes and all that. Results is results. If you like the result and you want to get there, then learn how to do that from that person or people.
Anybody else?
I mean, my approach to it was just from an understanding perspective, because like I heard what Trev said and what everyone said, and I always am looking to expand my perspective and potentially learn. That's what motivates me. But even when I'm hearing you guys discuss things, and I think people should be more objective in trying to gain an understanding. Facts are things that do change. They're not solid. That's what I think we've all grown to learn at some point, because a fact can be something at one era and can change. Intelligent people, again, do know this. Those who, I don't know, if not intelligent or unintelligent seem to struggle with that, but opinions should be based in fact if you want to have civil discourse, in my opinion. And I'll end.
All right. Let's go ahead and get into this next video. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Hit the like button. Here we go.
Made feeling better the goal instead of becoming better? Mental health today is all about relief, deep breaths, self-care, setting boundaries. And while those things can be helpful, they were never supposed to be the whole solution. What I see happening is symptom management. It helps you feel better in the moment instead of building your capacity, which makes sure that you don't need this constant relief. The mental health industry has over prioritized coping to the point where people think struggling means that they're failing. But struggling isn't the problem. It's the avoidance of struggle that keeps and is keeping a lot of people stuck. For example, right? Boundaries have become one of the most misused mental health tools. Instead of helping people navigate relationships and difficult conversations or life challenges, they've become a way to avoid all of that. Traditional mental health advice sounds like this. If it drains you, walk away. If they don't respect your boundaries, cut them off. You don't know anyone access to you. And my problem or the issue with that is without building capacity, you'll always need boundaries to feel safe because your relationship with discomfort hasn't changed. You're not actually growing. You're just creating distance from anything that requires you to. So, instead, what we should be teaching people is how to regulate emotions without needing space to do it, how to communicate clearly instead of shutting people out, how to trust themselves to navigate challenges, not just to avoid them. And this is why I talk so much about capacity, because mental health isn't just about managing stress. It's about making sure that you have the internal strength to handle it. Another question for you, okay? Has your mental health journey made you stronger or just more dependent on tools?
Let's
Yeah,
go to
I
get
don't.
it. She talked about the avoidance of struggle. Go ahead, Marcus.
I was gonna say I don't agree with her. I don't agree. I think that boundaries is extremely healthy, and you don't owe your time or energy to nobody, because that, respectfully, it sounded like she was rationalizing people being able to do what they want to you and you having grace all the time. I'm really not for that. Like, if I feel like you made a mistake, then yeah, I can show some grace. But if it's malicious intent, I'm not about to keep showing grace so you can keep showing me you the same person I thought you was and keep putting me in a situation XYZ. I think that some people believe conflict is the only way for growth. And I don't want to be conflicting with nobody. I don't absolutely have to. I just don't want to live my life like that. So I can see how somebody could be like, I can regulate my emotions very well. I can do all of those things. With that said, I still am not going to just entertain people in my space or vicinity that put my spirit off, that make me not want to be around them. Like, that's part of my mental health. Like, you're not about to be bringing me down, because I absorb energy a lot of the time. You're not about to be bringing me down with just pure negative energy all the time, or things that I just don't want around me. I'm not doing that. And to normalize it is kind of like when somebody, like, if you like in an abusive relationship and you like, well, I just need better skills to be able to manage this abusive relationship. No, leave. You shouldn't be in that relationship. Or maybe I'm misunderstanding what she's saying, but that's what I got from that.
Yeah, I think. I think you misinterpreted. Like, I can respect what you're saying, but from what I gathered, what she was saying, she's speaking to the masses. Generally, when they're applying these tools, they're talking about most people. You may be one of those people who are developed that can understand how to do what you're saying, self-regulate, assess the situation, set healthy boundaries. Unfortunately, most people don't have those set of tools. They have to be taught that. And what you're seeing in the therapeutic space is that people are taking things like boundaries and just throwing a wide net. And what they're doing is they're creating avoidance in their development, in their self. So they're not going to grow. That you can't grow with every time you feel uncomfortable or somebody presents pressure in a way that requires you to arrive at that situation with maturity by saying you're violating my boundaries or I'm uncomfortable. You won't have a very fruitful life. That's what I got from what she was saying.
I agree. There was something, and I'm glad I didn't have a therapist that did all of the, you have to basically go no contact with people, blah, 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 because when I was trying to get through like all of my daddy issues at the time, I was like, I just don't want to deal with him. Like, I don't want him in my life. I don't want to have anything to do with him. And he was like, yeah, that's not really healthy. He was like, you have to have circles. He said you have a circle where you keep people close to you. That's your core. You have to have another circle to put them in that's a little bit further away. And he was like, if you need just a little more distance, you put them there. He said you need to have, circles that you put them in. You need spaces. He said you don't eliminate people from your life, especially when you're talking about your family. He made me he gave me all this homework that really helped me work through that issue, because I was in the habit of just putting people out and just not dealing with them anymore. Now I do have boundaries. That's what those circles are for. I will put people out of my life, but not necessarily the way I used to. And so boundaries are very important, protecting yourself, but also like here, y'all know I was like, I'm not coming back. And when I thought about it, I was like, I need to figure out how to be here with people. Like, I'm uncomfortable. The things that people are saying to me are uncomfortable. I had to figure out why they were uncomfortable. And I was like, I still want to learn. I still want to hear different perspectives. My mom raised me like that. She raised me to hear and accept different perspectives. They don't necessarily have to be mine. And so I figured out a way to come back and actually work through that being uncomfortable and not liking what people say to me, but accepting it anyway. It doesn't have to be true. So we have to learn how to set boundaries, but we also have to not set so many boundaries that you end up like with your mama and your best friend around you, and that's it, because that's unhealthy as well. You have to allow other people in this world to be different from you. You don't have to allow people to hurt you. That's what boundaries are for. But we have gotten into a space in this world where everybody just wants to be comfortable, and you have to accept them for them, and you have to be okay with it, and not just accepting. Accepting people for who they are is valid, but you have to like it, and you have to be okay with it. And like, you have to feel the way they feel. And if you don't feel the way they feel, then you can't be around them, right? We have to live in a space where we do no harm to each other. We don't have to agree. We don't have to live alike. But as long as you live by the mantra of do no harm, like, you don't have to disrespect anybody, and you don't have to take disrespect. But you also don't have to be babysat through your life either. Like, people don't have to babysit you. So, and when y'all hear me speak about anything, it's always in terms of disrespect. I don't care about how you feel, but you don't have to disrespect other people. That's always my point. But I respect everybody's right to feel the way they feel. We just don't have to do harm to people, is all I ever preach. But I ain't have no snowflake therapist, and he told me stop saying everything I think. I'm still working on it. I ain't did that yet, but yeah.
My thing is, I try and use discernment on, like I talked about this before. When I would fire people, it was never off of the mistake they made. It was the mentality behind it. So I kind of look beyond just the instance. Like, anybody can make a bad decision in a moment, or cross a line by accident. But habitual line steppers, yeah, I got to get you away from you. Somebody who mentality is malicious, I got to get you away from you. Because no matter how many times that I give you another chance, the mentality within you is the same. You're going to keep doing the same thing I'm mad about. So I might as well just save myself all of this trouble. Once I recognize that you have these character traits, so this is the way your ideology is formed, now I just separate from it. But I get working through something that's uncomfortable with a well-meaning person. That's probably the key for me. A person that's operating out of ignorance, we could do something with that if they're willing to learn. A person that's made a mistake just by accident, I can do a lot with that because that's an accident. But intentional maliciousness, intentional habitual line crossing, all of those things is an L for me. That's just I'd be so happy and so free spirit because I just don't deal with that shit. Keep it like I just don't.
And White, real talk. Don't even walk it back. It sounds a little different than what you had earlier, but I don't think even that's wrong. I think that what you were explaining initially was from the perspective of a fully calibrated human being, where you have that discernment to be able to recognize it from the beginning, and you won't tolerate certain energies within your life. And there's nothing wrong with that. But to True's point, most people aren't fully calibrated, right? They still have lessons to learn. They still don't possess that discernment necessary to be able to save hella time and eliminate someone. What the woman in the video was explaining in my interpretation was my favorite word, balance. Whereas
I was about to say that, man. I should have spoken for you.
It is healthy for you to be able to work through some things, because what I've noticed in a lot of people, unfortunately, particularly women, is men too. So I ain't gonna say it, but a lot. I guess I interact with more women. People are apprehensive sometimes to deal with people, and it's based on past experiences that they may have had that just ruin them. And when they see the first sign of anything like that without the proper discernment, then they immediately reject it. And what I've learned is some people have very noticeable character flaws. But when you identify that with experience, sometimes you learn how to deal with that, cope with that, reason with that, even reason with that. So the first thing I would try to do is see how they receive my message. I will articulate to them what it is that I feel like they're doing. If they're not the type of person that will take constructive criticism and take some actionable steps to correct it, then it's not somebody I want to deal with. I know that right away. If you're so sensitive where you can't even, it says, I'm going to present it nicely. I'm not going to come at you crazy or none of that. I'm going to parse it as carefully as possible as I can craft words. And if that is not something that works, then no, I no longer have time for human beings like that, because there are some people who are just negative. There are some people who are energy vampires, and some people that you just don't need in your life.
Yeah, I was going to speak about, I always talk about balance. And I think that's what Marcus was doing as well. I think both what Marcus said and what the lady in the video said is valuable. If you could put it in your tool bag, have it in your arsenal, and be able to apply it where needed, then that's how you're going to benefit. But to Truth's point and some of other people's points, a lot of people don't have that discernment. I was having a conversation, and there are things that kind of trigger me from a communication standpoint. Like when somebody wants to, if I'm expressing how I feel about a situation or that person at the time, then they want to respond by saying what I've done in the past. That's okay. This is not a good faith conversation. So it's only going to go so far. If they keep going down this hole, then we're going to have to retract back and exit left of this conversation. And there's no offense. It's just the older I get, like my tolerance, I don't have a high tolerance for just having bad faith conversations or conversations that's not seeking understanding. I also believe that as a person, and this all depends on the person, you have to stand for something. Like I like to operate off of logic, so I always tie things back. I've put the work in. I think I do a good job as far as how I process information and receive it. Being self-aware, being able to apologize and admit when I'm wrong. Being able to not invalidate someone's feelings. So even if they say they felt a certain way, who am I to tell them that they didn't feel that way? I don't have to agree with it, but that's the way they felt. So I'm curious as to how did they get there? I start to try to unpack it that way. But you got to be able to stand for something. So if you know that you have a certain level of discernment, no matter what they're saying, if you know it's right and you operate off of logic, then stand on it. No matter what it is that they're saying. If you felt and you looked at all the data in the situation and you said, I'm looking at this from a logical perspective, even bounce it off a couple other people and then come back. You have to be able to rest. That's being, I believe that we are problem solvers. And so when we stand on something or we feel that this is the way you got to go, then that's the way we got to go. Now, if it doesn't work out, I'm not afraid to come back to repair it, to fix it, to revisit it, to see how it can get better. But you have to be able to make a decision. And sometimes those decisions come when it's a stance.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I used to be like what Bo was saying, like if we're not connecting, like I'll kick somebody out. I won't be friends with them no more. Like you have to get out my space, get out my life, because I ain't got time for that. But I realized I'm still like that now, but I kind of like, I'm very subjective with it. So basically I realized that I didn't know how to communicate. So when something I don't like is happening, it's like, oh, cut, instead of let's talk about it. Okay. Because then when I realize, okay, let me learn how to communicate, then I realize who the person is. I go by characteristics. There's some people that's just not good. They're bad for you. They're bad for many others, right? I look at it as, okay, is this a good, genuine person? And we're just not having like common viewpoints or something like that. If you're a good, genuine person and me and you just don't, agree to some things, then that's okay. I could keep you in my life. But if you're this person that is harm, right? You're destroying the way, like how my life is going, or you're trying to, mess things up for me, then that's when I will cut you off. But communication is very key to pretty much everything. So you learn how to talk to people, you go through your differences, and then you have these, I guess they call it boundaries. I don't really get too stuck up off of words like that, because I feel like a lot of words are triggering. Just kind of like understand what the word is, look it up, and then kind of act on it. So if we're going to use the word boundaries is just setting a standard for whoever you're dealing with. So if you're dealing with somebody that, let's say the only good they give you is having a good time, but everything else is toxic, but they're a good, genuine person. Okay, only deal with that person when you're having a good time. Don't allow them to be in other spaces in your life, right? That's just how I look at it. And that's just how it kind of should be, because at the end of the day, all of us came from different walks of life. We're not going to be at all the same, right? So it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Just, if you're a bad person, stay over there with the bad people. And, I'd rather just deal with you as a good, genuine person.
All right. Anybody else? Go ahead, Dr. Ladio.
Yeah, I can't follow that.
I will say that is when you have balances, it's definitely a part of just leadership as a whole, because you have to know how to deal with the ups and downs of other individuals and still get along with them straight face. Not every teammate that play together get along. There's some coaches that don't get along with their teammates, but they go out there and do one heck of a job. You don't even know that they don't even get along, so you do have to have balance. Not everybody in your life should be like a echo chamber, right? There are friends who we don't agree on certain things, and we can have the longest talks on the phone about awesome things. We can talk to each other about stuff. So, I have friends who are married. I have some who are not, it's just a balance. I think that's what, that helps your psyche long term. And the boundaries, you should definitely have some boundaries, but I think that people kind of overuse that word or misuse that word boundaries. At the same time, I think boundaries is just a standard. You definitely have a standard of life. But other than that, it could kind of go either way. But yeah, it's just having balance. That's what it is. Just have balance in your life, period. If you're looking at life to just go in this straight line and everything's just, going to be so perfect and all your friends are going to be happy all the time, you're not going to have one toxic girlfriend that she can't hold water, but she'd be the one that come pick you up in the middle of the night. But that's your girl. As Lady Di said, that's, not to tell her nothing. You'd be like, oh, I can't tell her nothing. But, if I need a ride in the middle of the night, my tire flat, she going to be there. That's okay. So, yeah. And I'll land there.
All right. Who was about to say?
I was going to say one thing real quick. I'm so sorry. To that point, I had learned this from having experienced issues with family members. I realized that I can't, or I don't want to say I can't, because people do cut their family members off. They will cut their mom and dad off in a minute. But I'm too nice. I can't do that, right? These are the people that put me here. So I had to learn, okay, family members, I can't cut you off. So I'm forced to figure this out. So that's kind of how I landed to where I'm at now. Like, all right, let me make sure I can make this work and just not use you, but you're good for this, and that's okay. That's all I want to say.
Go ahead, Mike.
I was going to ask Dr. Lady O, do you think that homegirl you was discussing knows that she is like horrible and everything else, so she overcompensates by being extra useful? And do you think that is worth the exchange?
Good question. Sometimes I think they definitely know that they're like that. I don't think they try to overcompensate anything at all. I think, this was somebody that I knew of many, many years ago. I think they just know. They just know that they can hold water. Matter of fact, they even crack jokes. I can't hold water. You know what I have to tell her that. and she's just an overly nice person. She's always been nice, regardless. But
okay,
yeah.
I think that might be different than what I was thinking.
Okay.
I don't think I just thought it was just.
You think that she'd just go above and beyond because I know I can't hold water and I'm gonna no, she
right, but I was thinking it was worse than that. Like she's
right.
probably like a backstabbing type of person, but you can count on her in a pinch. You know what I'm saying? But it don't sound like when you say she's real
definitely not that type. I'm not gonna deal with a backstabber. That's somebody that just go make a completely total lie about you, or or be involved in gossip about you, and then see your face like, "Hey, girl." Yeah, no, not that type.
That's the ones you kick out.
Huh?
That's the ones you kick out.
Yeah.
Shit, I'll fight them too. Try it again.
Yeah, that's straight up messy. Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and get into this. Well, Bruno gifted one Lapeef Network membership. Thank you, Bruno.
I got a question, G. Why are we saying you can't cut your parents off? Like, you should hold your parents to a much higher standard. So if your parents are constantly hurting you, constantly doing something, you can cut them motherfuckers off too. Like, we gotta forget, man. Like, we don't owe our parents shit. Our parents owe us the same way we owe our kids. Like, that shit is weird to me. That people think that, like, oh, just because it's your mama, man, you can't do her like that. That's your daddy, man. He's struggling. No. If them people is constantly fucking with you, fucking up your mental health, making you feel bad, disrespecting you, or all of that, fuck them. Because they supposed to know better. I would give a stranger a second chance for some shit like that before I give somebody who was close to me or like my family. Like, the fuck are we talking about?
I used to think lock his ass up. I used to think that, Willie, until I realized I learned how to deal with family. So some people literally would manipulate you because you allow them to manipulate you. They know that you get ticked off at this thing. You're going to yell. They want you to yell. They want you to get mad. So you flip it and you don't react to, you're not like reacting to everything that they're doing. When you do that and you show them that you're not fazed by what they're hurting you with, they stop.
But that's the thing, though.
It is a privilege.
Unless they're on drugs, but
it's a privilege to be around you. It is a privilege to be connected with you. It's a privilege for them to be your parents. If they don't respect that period, being that privilege, fuck them. Like, our family is not beyond reproach. Like, and unfortunately, we have to hold our family to a higher standard than we would like strangers, because that's your mom and daddy. They had you, they raised you, and now they treat you like if when they were little, they would have told you to let nobody else play with you like that, but then they want to be the one to do it, that's even more egregious than if a stranger did it.
But I'm not saying you around them all the time. Like,
me neither.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying like you keep them at a distance. You know, you don't do everything with them. Shit, you might not even invite them everywhere, but they're still your parents. You like, you get what I'm saying? It's just a respect level. Like elders, you respect all elders.
No, you don't. You respect you respect respectable elders, the ones who respect you. The ones around here like OG Speed that's running around here just talking shit when they 75 years old. Fuck him and his mama. You don't have to respect them people.
Oh, you gonna come up here and tighten your ass up.
Sound good.
Wait, don't tell y'all to drop the link.
I was not expecting that.
When have you ever seen me duck anything?
Lock his ass up. You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
I think the assumption is, and this is something that I have to come to realize in my later stage in life, a lot of us have relatives. A lot of us do not have family. That can include the parental unit. Family to me is something that is earned. That's including parents, siblings, and everybody across the board. Or fortunately, if you have parents, whatever capacity, cool. They birthed you, they raised you, they did what they could. But I think we unfortunately give more credence to the fact that they're supposed to know better. Like you said, Willie, I think that that's foolish to assume that they should know better. I think you have to observe them and the choices they've made. You have to observe them and how they deal with them each other as a parental unit, how they deal with conflict in their individual life, then to be able to give them that almost that position of like, okay, yeah, you know better because I've watched you execute based on your character. I think we unfortunately do it because we're children. We just assume maybe it's just me. They're Superman, Superwoman at a certain level. But then you start to understand when you get a little bit more information, they were just trying to figure it out a lot of times. They just people too. And they're not just giving family just because they have the same DNA, in my opinion.
So let me ask you this question. Why would you not hold your parents to a higher standard? Well, they're the ones that taught you how to treat people. They're the ones that taught you what respect was. It's almost like if you ask your teacher a question, you hold him to a higher standard if he doesn't know the answer. You're like, well, nigga, how you testing me when you don't know the answer yourself and you're the teacher? That's what I mean by holding to a higher standard. I expect more from my parents because my parents told me not to fuck with people. They taught me not to disrespect people that I loved and cared about. So if you taught me that lesson and then you turn around and do that to me, again, ma'am, mom, dad, fuck both of y'all, if that's the case.
Well, I'll answer it like this. The word discernment. Some people, parents included, parrot what is good information. You can't necessarily think that because they echo something that they heard or they believe to be true, you got to watch if they executed it in their lives. If that character was existent in the way that they handled life, because like you're saying, they raised you, but did they really raise you? Did they give you good information? Because I know a lot of parents who gave great information, but did not execute that in their own individual life. And so at a certain point as an adult, we have to sit there and be like, were they actually executing on what the lessons were? And then decipher from there.
And then also, I just want to say, and also like parents have a childhood as well. I'm not giving nobody an excuse, but I do understand some people are the way they are from their past and they can't shake it off. Like some of us can't shake it off. We could be like, oh yeah, this happened to me. I don't want that for myself. I don't want that for my life. I don't want that for my future kids. And you move that way. But there's some people that just can't. I don't know what's wrong with them. They can't do it. So you look at that too, and you be like, damn, well, my dad or my mom was abused mentally, physically, whatever the case is. And I could see why this is happening and they need help. Some people just need help. So if we start Xing them out and we not helping them, I don't believe in that. I think at least trying to help them, right? It takes time. It ain't going to be overnight. You help the person that put you here, family or whatever, and see how that goes. If it don't go well, then I mean, I guess you could X them out. Like my family, my parents, they know they get on my bad side. I will cut them off. They know that, but not like forever. Like I'm gonna see them again. You get what I'm saying? I think Willie, I don't know if you're talking about like indefinitely. I ain't messing with you. Don't ever see me no more. Don't hit me up. Don't send me no mail. Don't email me nothing. Like I think. That's what it sounds like you're saying. That's kind of impossible to me. They still parents. You feel me? Like I don't know where you're going with that.
It be some people that really, I work on the ugly side of life. I work in insurance. I work in the Medicare side. No, there are a few people out there who be like, don't even call me when they unalive. Leave them at the funeral home. They will be done. They're done. Like seriously, they have really got people. There are people that be at the morgue because their family won't claim them. So, but me personally, I did do the whole cutting your mama off at one point. I did it probably for about 5, 6, 7 years, but luckily, thank God before she passed on, that we did, get on a great terms. The thing is, I know we all said it earlier, is a few minutes ago, is I know you did, Lady Di, is the parents were children at one point too, right? It's all about self-accountability. The parents themselves have self-accountability, but we also cannot expect for everything to be so corrected in our life. It's just not going to work, and this is why I say, age is what time is so undefeated. We think we have all the answers to life. We do not. We would never. We're never going to know. We think we can just point everything out, and then you got this setback, you got this. It's just going to keep coming. Even in my 50s, I'm like, well, dang, I know it's going to go through this. You do not know what life is going to deal you. You absolutely do not. And don't think your kids ain't going to come for you. It's going to be something that your kids going to say that you did not do. It's going to happen to you because we are teaching based on the times that we're living in. And now that you're, like my kids are millennials, so they live in a different time and will have, increase in technology and other things. And, they always going to think it's something that you didn't do. It's going to happen to you. Trust me. I mean,
I believe you, lady. I'm millennial too. Most of the, so there's a thing called, like, I forget what's your generation called, lady?
I'm Gen X.
Gen X.
I'm not that old. Don't play me like that.
I wasn't even trying to be funny though. I literally
not play me like that.
No, because I thought my mom and dad
baby boomer.
Because I had all my kids young. I had all my kids younger because most millennials are actually born to baby boomers. So that's true.
Oh, okay.
Because I had all my kids.
I know I wouldn't trip because I'm a millennial. I'm just up to
I get it. Right. But no, all my kids are.
I wasn't being funny that time, I swear.
I had babies young. Yeah.
Right. Watch it when you saw what happened last time somebody tried to call the old lady, man.
Yeah,
they ain't make it out of here.
Hey, we got to get more there, y'all. We got to let
it's both turn. Y'all got to let my best friend talk. Everybody be quiet. Who's talking?
Oh my God. No way. Please don't have me laughing like that no more. Listen, okay. What we have to understand is in cutting off your parents, I don't disagree with it, depending on the level of abuse, manipulation, trauma, whatever. And I definitely don't disagree with it temporarily. But the most valuable thing that I learned about parents, being an adult, because not having understanding and empathy for your parents when you grow up, that's what I don't understand. You have to work through it. You have to understand who you are as an adult and how you're just trying to make it. You have to understand your traumas and how you're working through your traumas, what you've been through, and how you show up in your life amidst all of the things that you have been through, how you have affected people. And then that would help you work through all of the things that your parents have done to you. The most valuable thing I learned about my parents are their people, period. You have to learn who they were, how they were raised, who was in their life, and what they've been through, because that will give you an understanding of the capacity that they had to raise children and why they passed off trauma to you. Because if you can understand their trauma, you can understand your trauma from them, and then you can learn how to heal through that. Hopefully you can open up a door where you can actually deal with them. I finally finally did have a short, very brief relationship with my dad because I had to take care of him before he passed. He was a cool guy. I learned a lot about him after he passed. It still doesn't change what happened, but I saw value in him. I still saw that value. And I forgave him years before he passed. But the relationship took a while to progress. And it was really just because he needed a caretaker. And I was happy to do it. But we have to understand that cutting off your parents has to be temporary, because the more you learn about your parents, the more you accept who they were and how they were raised, the more you can learn about you and heal through everything that you've been through. That's the only way that you're going to move forward, because you have to understand the trauma that bred your trauma. So I'm on both sides. I'm like, yeah, you can cut them off in your younger years before you understand life for real. But when you really understand life, you really got to get to know your parents. That doesn't mean like, we cool, I love you, we're going to hang out every day. But you do have to develop some type of acceptance and tolerance for them, because you need to learn so you can be a better person.
Hold on, y'all. Let me get to these super chats right quick.
Okay.
Ikede, business and development. Let me change the name. $2. Your kids will treat you how you treated your parents. Ikede again, $5. At will, I'm disappointed in your comments. I guess it's the community or the society that makes you say that what you said. Respect your parents is virtue. Willie responded back. Also remember, $5. Ikene, business development. Since you spent $5 to super chat that, I wanted to also spend $5 and tell you that I don't care. Hashtag be safe, G. Practitioner, $1.99. Empathy doesn't require sympathy and acceptance. I want to thank everybody that's contributed. If you haven't already, just hit the like button. That's all I'm asking, the like button. Go ahead, Dr. Lady O.
I was just going to land here. The older you get, if you get a chance to reach some 50s and plus, you're going to realize you way more like your parents than you ever freaking realized. Some things, I'm like, oh my God, it's a lot of things that I'm starting to do is like, oh my God, this is like my mother. And you'll be surprised. So you got to understand you have their DNA. So, and I'll land there.
All right. We're going to play this next video. Y'all ready? There we go.
So mental health awareness it's at an all-time high, and that is great. But some of these trends, they are making people worse, not better. Let's talk about it, because I got 3 that's top of mind. The first one is turning labels into identity. Labels were meant to be for understanding, not a personality. But today, people are branding themselves with their diagnosis. And even when you think about, like, I have ADHD, so I can't focus. I have an anxious attachment, so I can't trust people. Instead of working through things, people are actually using the labels to justify staying the same. And in some cases, like, using it to weaponize, like, some of their relationships. The second one is, and I'll keep saying it, pathologizing normal life struggles. Not every challenge is trauma. Not every difficult person is a narcissist. Not every workplace is toxic just because you don't like your boss. Life is hard sometimes. That doesn't mean it's harming you. But when you pathologize normal struggles, you rob yourself of the ability to actually navigate them. And then the third one is this obsession with feeling seen, heard, and validated. At some point, we stopped striving for growth and we just started chasing external validation. The need to be constantly seen, heard, and understood has become an emotional crutch. Here's the truth. Not everyone will understand you. Not everyone will validate you. And that's not a threat to your well-being. The obsession with external validation is keeping people emotionally fragile instead of teaching them how to stand firm in who they are, even when no one claps for them. And I know that I said 3, but here's a bonus one, because what the hell is even a safe place? Life doesn't come with trigger warnings. Growth requires friction. If you constantly need environments that cater to your emotions, you're not building mental strength. You're building dependence. True safety comes from knowing you can handle yourself in any space, not just the ones that feel good. Mental health should strengthen you, not weaken your ability to handle and or engage with life. Okay?
That's it for Miss Pearl. We haven't heard from her in a
This
while.
lady.
I'm a little on the fence about her. I'm straddling in it. Like maybe some of her points are good, but she almost give me Dr. Bryant vibes. Sometimes people just over talk for the sake of just sounding like they have something important or different to say. It's almost like she's taking this therapeutic approach that people have known to use and like turning it against them in a way. Like I get that maybe people are not using therapy or the therapeutic strategies the right way, but I think the deeper question outside of therapy and the lessons that we should ask ourselves is like, how many of us really know real therapeutic coping strategies? Where is that taught? Like, where are we getting this information? Because it's almost like we have a prerequisite on how we're supposed to act and present ourselves, but we don't have any learning opportunities. And I've said this before. Many of us, a lot of us, are missing those social and emotional development milestones. We don't have those. We're just adults that are, once like they're sent, we're trying to cope. So a lot of times we're sitting with these counselors and these therapists, we're like unpacking and finding out that we're really lacking that social and emotional learning. So for me, I have a problem with her saying like safe space. I don't think there's anything wrong with being a safe place or looking for someone to be your safe place. And this is outside of yourself. Once you're confident, you're self-aware, you built your boundaries, you know who you are, what you're willing to accept and not. I think you still have to have that discernment in who you feel safe around exposing yourself to. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I thought that's what discernment was, that I'm guarded with who I share certain things and aspects of myself with, because everybody can't be trusted with that. We know that. I've been regarded as a safe place. I don't think that that was offensive to me. I think that that person felt mentally and emotionally safe to speak to me in ways and expose things to me that they weren't able to. I was possibly also able to see them in ways that other people were not. So I think sometimes they weaponize them being therapists and psychologists. And I really don't like that. Like maybe I might be taking it wrong. And if I am, I'm open to learning another way to see it. But when she talk, it's almost like it's scratching me the wrong way. And it's not because I'm triggered. It's almost like the people, again, who are looking and seeking those services, I'm just concerned with how they're feeling. Like, okay, you understand, we don't want to turn labels into identity. And like the whole feeling seen, heard, and validated. We all want to feel seen, heard, and validated. That's part of why some of us on this podcast, not all of us, like we feel like we have something that we can contribute to a conversation. We feel like it's validated already and we kind of want to share it. I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that. Maybe it's overdoing it, but I don't feel like there's anything wrong with feeling seen, heard, and valid. We're all seeking external validation. I think a part of therapy is more so looking at why you don't have internal validation and why you're seeking that external. Maybe it's an overcompensation, but I'm gonna land my plane because I feel like I've been talking too much.
Okay. Anybody want to talk?
That straw needs you.
So
Oh, you want to go next, Bo? Okay.
I really liked what she was saying. We have become an extremely sensitive place. Like our society is so sensitive now. And like I said, I don't like the disrespect. Like I don't like when people disrespect people. Feel how you feel. Just don't disrespect people. But we do have to challenge our beliefs in order to grow. We have to challenge the things that we have always done and the ways that we've lived in order to grow. My mom is a teacher. She's always saying stuff. But one thing I picked up on here recently was the thesis the antithesis and the synthesis. Your thesis is what you already believe. This is like how we grew up, what we've been taught, all of those things. The antithesis are things that are opposite of what we believe or just outside of what we believe or have been taught. Both of those things are valuable. If you take that challenge to whatever you believe and the way you live in order to grow and learn more and learn better and become better, that's where synthesis comes from. You can't have growth without challenging yourself. So that I found that extremely valuable when she said that. My mom taught me that. And so we have to understand that there are going to be things in our lives that we don't like. But is it valuable? Is it useful? You don't like it, but is it true? Can you learn from it? Like that's the most valuable thing, like of what she said. You have to allow that.
Okay. You know, I think she said some good things. Number one, I do think that people use these labels like, ADHD and all that stuff, which I thought I was, but I wasn't, to basically get sympathy. Basically, they use it as a crutch. Feel sorry for me because I have this issue. There are people who, another word is being offended. Anything that's the opposite of what someone thinks is going to offend them. Has nothing to do with the tongue. A woman could shame a guy if, he want a woman a certain way. Well, that's offensive to me. Everything is absolutely offensive. I do believe what both said. There's a lot of sensitive people out here, way too sensitive. I've never in my life been around a generation of people you can't say nothing to them. And that's hard because life is going to throw you a whole bunch of curveballs. And you have got to know how to bounce back. This is why there's an old saying is, as parents, you're supposed to prepare your child for the road and not the road for the child. Unfortunately, a lot of these kids have been coddled so much that we absolutely can't do anything in this world without them being offended, without them using, oh, I'm ADHD, or I have this issue, or I have this trauma in my past, which everything is so trauma. And that's another thing that just ticks me off. Everything ain't freaking trauma. Everything is not trauma. When I hear that they, have some issues with their parents, I'm talking about, was your parents locking you up in cages? Was your parents not feeding you? Were they smacking you in the face? Or what was it that you deemed that's so traumatizing from your parents? I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I'm saying everything is traumatized nowadays. Some things is just your learning experience. We are all different. We have different backgrounds. You think that kids who have a mother who's a doctor and father's a lawyer, they come from this good home, that all of a sudden this is the American way, this is how it's supposed to be. That's not life, which we know those kids are the main ones on drugs. So I'm just saying, I don't know. I think she made some good points. I really do. And when she talked about the safe space, I took it as she's saying that some people don't want nothing around them to be, everything has got to be safe, to cater to them. If it's outside of this alleged safe space, then it's problematic. Having someone to go to is a different thing because, okay, this is toxic over here. I can go over here to her or him. This person, they understand me, this is my common place. But when you want all your surroundings to just, everything just so nice and so peaceful, that's problematic. That's not going to get you anywhere in life. It's just not. So
I think that I don't see nothing wrong with people saying they were traumatized, because that's what they feel. They felt they was traumatized. They don't like that someone said their shoes was ugly. Like, it's nothing wrong with it. That's just a feeling. So what I feel needs to happen is that they need to be taught how to deal with things that are opposite from what they're thinking or what they're feeling. And not to overuse maybe the word trauma. I say that because everybody on this panel, everybody that's listening, we all have different experiences. My experience that I will call so-called trauma will probably not be as bad as someone else that has something way worse than me. But then should my stuff be discredited? Because that's what I see happens a lot. Oh, well, you didn't go through this, so why are you upset? You had a great life. Like, don't tell me what I had. I understand maybe it was better than yours, but this is how I feel. This is what it is. Just learning how to adapt. That's all I'm saying. You just kind of like, okay, this is my experience. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. You have to hear that. This is my experience and everything. What can I do to not be upset all the time with that, and kind of go from there? And then also, I think for the ones that are overusing the word, a lot of them probably were a little spoiled, or the opposite, they didn't have enough attention. So they're attention seeking, spoiled people attention seek, and people that don't have attention seek. And they just use that because they, like I said, it's all about communication. They don't understand life. They didn't go through nothing. They didn't go through enough experience. So they don't know how to deal with things that are happening. So like I said, it's just they're novice to stuff. You just have to teach them. If you're older, it don't have to be older. You could be a wise young person. If you see someone that needs help with their thoughts and how they move and their moods and their emotions, teach them, help them, be the helping hand. I don't think a lot of us like to help others. It's more like pointing the finger. You do the shame thing, but you shame them and you don't help them. Like, you got to kind of do all of it. If you want to see the world change, then people need to start kind of opening their mouth more and kind of getting more involved. That's it.
You know what? To get at Lady Da's point with concerning trauma, I think trauma is subjective, right? There's like a lot of us that we feel like we've experienced trauma. Like, if I took most people's shoes away and I told you that you're gonna have to walk a couple miles to go get water, and you're only gonna eat once a day, and then you have to share that with your family, and then you explain that to people who they'd be like, "Damn, that must have been traumatic." But for some people, that's reality, right? That's their everyday experience, and I know a lot of people who serve. Maybe Willie could attest to this, but everyone who I know, they've always talked about, like, there'd be one person that just kind of loved what they do, and a lot of things that people see and they come back. They have to. There's procedures they have to do to when you come back and everything else. But some people just really love it. They love the experience and every aspect of it. So, but they've been through the same thing, same missions, side by side, and it's completely different perspectives. So, and when you consider the fact we're only using about 10% of our brain, I actually feel like if we were able to use a higher percentage, that our perception of trauma would be completely different. I think that some of us overthink trauma. I think that some things that we feel shouldn't be traumatic, but at the same time, we can't understand the different thresholds of it. We know we're all wired a little bit differently, but it's something to consider that the trauma is, in my opinion at least, absolutely subjective.
It is subjective, and the perception, is different, because we're all different. So, like, let's say me and you grew up in the same house, and we went through the same issues, how you experience what we went through might be different than how I feel and how I experience it. So it's going to come out differently. I might, need more help than you. So I think we have to acknowledge that, like, you would expect someone to have the same brain, like, and achieve a goal like you would, but then it's not going to happen. So if you have, let's say, a better skill set, then teach that person that skill set. Like, to me, communication is a skill. Things are being accountable for your actions. Being accountable is a skill too. It's a skill. Most of these things are skills you have to learn. Either we learn it on our own, like some stuff I learned on my own growing up, and then some things I was taught. So it's kind of like everybody, I think, who was talking about intelligent people, some people are just not that swift with it. I don't want to say they're not intelligent, because it really depends. That's subjective. But they're just not swift with coming up with resolutions. They're not resolution oriented.
No, that's valid. The lady was kind of speaking to some of the things that I was talking about earlier about, that need to be validated and everything else. Me just trying to understand the perspective is that people want to sometimes belong to something, for one. So you can say, yeah, ADHD. So now you like ADHD gang, right? Or you trauma gang. Like, and when people hear these trigger words, now it's like, okay, maybe I have to treat this person differently. Maybe I have to treat them more delicately. Maybe I have to patronize them more. Maybe I have to exhibit a higher level of understanding for this person. So then that makes me think, like, damn, what the hell are they lacking in their lives? I think that there's also cases where people are just doing it subconsciously, but because I've seen this ain't like new shit. When I was in school, like elementary school, we talk about like the 80s, long time ago. It was cats running around saying they had shit like asthma and all of that. And they didn't have no asthma. Just so people would like treat them differently. Like, everybody wants to be cared for, kids. Just like, it's nothing different than sometimes playing sick.
All right, let's get to these super chats. Ready, Willie?
Yeah, put them up.
All right.
Willie, you not caring says a lot about you. Go on. Ikene, I still don't care. Beat it, nigga. In my Nigerian scammer voice. Someone revoke this nigga's visa. Will, I don't have a visa. I have a passport. Ikene, I'm not responding to $2 super chats, you bum. $10 or better if you want a response. Support the channel, you Nigerian nigga. Will, I don't flute my wealth. The fuck does that mean? Ikene, you do realize that if your country only had more mosquito nets, they could save millions of mosquitoes from contracting AIDS. Mosquitoes' lives matter.
Oh, well.
Y'all might as well just rumble, yo.
This
Bro,
man got me snorting up.
Y'all, this the thing, right? Y'all think in white hate these, I'm saying FBA niggas, bro. Like, this the thing. These niggas come out of nowhere trying to spew this like Nigerian Negro spiritual shit and then pushing that off on Americans. Like, bro, y'all are from a country with no fucking electricity for 6 hours a day. Shut the fuck up talking to us. Honor your father and honor your mother. Nigga, honor your father and your mother in the huts and tribes you came from in America. That's not how shit works.
Willie, shut up. Okay?
Right.
Shut
All right, let's go ahead and keep it moving. What's going on, Ray? Ray, you there?
Hi, I'm here.
Okay. Are you standing on cam or you going cam back
Ray,
down?
what up?
Hey, I don't know. I wanted to just say I love the dialogue you all just had about trauma and how people process that. I just want to say, as a licensed therapist myself, you all are correct in your points of view on that. When it comes
Thank you.
to how people process things that happen to them, it does vary. And everyone's feelings are valid. And no one should dismiss another person's experience or their feelings about what happened to them. Oh, and
So
also
you would agree?
don't identify. I'm sorry. Don't identify with a diagnosis or anything that happens to you in your life. Don't become a victim, because once you do that, you're definitely not going to grow or mature, and you won't live a happy, fulfilled life if you're always having a chip on your shoulder, or always using something that happens to you, or maybe it could be a physical or a mental diagnosis. If you use that and identify with that as your personality, you make that your whole identity and your personality, then yeah, you won't have a fulfilled life.
So Ray, real quick, what are your thoughts on trauma being subjective?
Well, when it comes to physical trauma, that's not subjective. I mean, obviously, if you've had physical, like brain trauma or
No. I wasn't
bodily
talking about
trauma.
physical. No, not physical. We were talking, just like staying with the topic on the show. We was talking about like, mental trauma and things from people's past and stuff.
There is a way. So when it comes to trauma, you can actually there are ways that they can test you to see if there was actual damage done to your brain based off something that happened to you. I guess people could go get that testing done, but
What
they
they
may
call that test?
feel, but I'm sorry.
What they call that test?
I know the brain scan is called not an EKG, that's the hard one.
A
The
CAT
brain,
scan.
Are you
yeah,
talking? You
but
talking about a test for your
what's the one?
emotions?
The one where
War,
they
with the dots? You talking about the Worcester test? The warrant? I can't say
The
the word.
Rorschach test?
Rorschach test. Is that what you're talking about?
No. A
I could
brain
look it up
scan is a
right now.
CAT
I
scan.
could look it up right now. The test you
Oh,
would take to.
It's a CTA scan.
No,
Not a
because we
CAT
talking
scan.
about, so we're not talking like, all right. So let's just say like, some type of abuse, whether it be, sexual or just something, maybe not necessarily like a beating that you would be able to physically see, but just something mental. Like, let's just say people starved you for years, or, just verbal abuse for years. Or is there a way that people can test to see if you have that type of trauma?
Yeah, like I said, when it comes to things like that, you can definitely see if they can run tests to see if your brain was altered, the structures, any of that. Absolutely, that's how they are able to study trauma.
Okay.
maybe it's physical trauma, but like like a lot of people was getting CTE. They were saying that they couldn't properly diagnose it till after they passed because they had to, I guess, take the brain out. That might be something different though,
Mm.
like trauma
That's
based.
that's because they were getting
Physical
hit.
trauma. Yeah, physical
I
trauma.
think
Yeah.
Trev is speaking of like emotional trauma, mental trauma, abuse. Like if someone was being starved or essayed as a
Yeah.
child for years, that also causes trauma as well, though.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
or they could have even just witnessed violence, right? It may not be direct.
Yes.
It just could be things
Yes.
that they witnessed. So I was trying to see what, I don't know how they would do that. I'm not familiar with this particular field, but that's what I was saying about the subjective. Like, let's just say we were siblings, me and you. We both saw our pops whoop ass on mom like on a regular basis, dragging her downstairs, uppercuts, everything, right? And then you really felt like, well, damn, now you were apprehensive to deal with men. Maybe you didn't see the value in men, whatever. And I was like, well, that's just them. I'm cool though. It was bad. It was unfortunate, but I got to move on. I don't want that to ruin my life too. That's what I'm saying. Like with the subjective part, whereas we can both have the same experience and have two completely different outcome. I wanted to pick your brain on what you felt about that. That's all I meant when I said subjective.
But we didn't have to go that deep. It could be something like kids who have different
don't move the goalposts.
different fathers in the home. No, I'm just saying, like when I said not everything.
I don't want to overload Ray right now. Like I just want her to be able to answer that.
Oh, okay. You want her to answer that? I'm sorry.
Yeah. It wasn't rhetorical. I just wanted to know what her thoughts were on that.
So yeah, that's an interesting question. When it comes to things like that, we always look at nature versus nurture. You know, we always say the genes are the gun, and then the environment is what unloads the gun, right? That triggers the gun. So, like, if we're siblings, we have the same DNA, but depending on, once again, the environment, how we process the environment is going to determine that would determine how certain traits show up. If that makes sense.
If I could try to take it in a different direction, I don't think that trauma is subjective. My perspective on that comes from the fact that most of what we're listing from a human perspective, we're not designed to deal with trauma impacts that are outside of like a normal flow. They observe human behavior in very mass situations, and you typically can depict what people are normally going to do just based on patterns and consistency. Trauma is linked to this idea that something impacts that person and then they may hold it in and it alters them, but it's supposed to alter them if it's outside of a normal approach. Like seeing a parent strike another parent is not normal. That's considered abnormal. So it would impact, but it makes it different. And I think that we kind of
That's not trauma though. I mean, if you saw it happen over and over, it could become, but if one time your dad slapped your mom, I mean, that's just an unfortunate situation.
Well, I'm speaking from the standpoint, and this is just my perspective, that our design as humans is not designed to deal with impact outside of things that are, balanced and normal. It could be.
That's not true.
Okay, explain.
As humans, our brains are actually wired to the reason why we're so attracted to negativity is for evolutionary reason. We're actually, as humans, able to deal with negativity, bad situations, and danger. We've evolved to now we look for things to go wrong. We actually live in a much more safer, nicer world than we would have had to live in even 1,000 or 2,000 years ago. So now we're actually looking for things to go wrong. We're actually very wired to deal with things outside of what's comfortable for us.
Well, see, that would kill your own argument if that was the case, because there would be no case to correct what is proper. If it was proper, we wouldn't fix it. We fixed it to balance out the world, to make it more livable, which would more further prove my point. We're looking at normal. We're looking at seeking balance. When something's out of balance, we correct it. Well, I don't believe we are designed as humans to deal with impact that throw off normality. You can observe this just going outside to any major event that has thousands of people. Most people do the same thing. But if you see a group of people start to fight, that's an alternative response to human behavior. That's not normal. What's normal is getting your ticket, finding your seat, sitting down and observing the event.
But now you have to get into what's normal. Now the word normal and how somebody processes what's normal, that's subjective, because you can't be like, well, because something didn't go my way, like someone said earlier, and now I'm traumatized. No, that's not correct.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm saying. We may be saying the same thing. You used the analogy of a gun and bullets. Gun is normal. That's structure. Like that's
gun is in the way I use it is actually your DNA. That's what you're born with. When you're born into the earth, you are already programmed with a set of traits from your mother and father. That's the gun in this case.
Which would be normal, meaning if we're analyzing it from structure, what I'm saying, that's normal. Abnormal is like somebody.
What's normal?
Normal is structure, something that's consistent, something that's replicable, something that is almost expected to occur. That's normal. Down syndrome is not normal. People who are on the spectrum is not normal. That's abnormal.
Being gay.
But I got a quick question for you.
I got a question for you. Personally, as a clinician, I'm not going to call those diagnoses certain necessarily abnormal, because then if that's the case, you will say, well, that means neurotypical is that gets into the neurotypical versus neurodivergent.
Well, I'm not trying to offend your clinical background. I'm speaking to the context of the conversation based on even what you said. Society is structured in a way. Humans are structured in a way to live a life that I would say is more linear, in the sense of we can assess trauma, we can assess trouble, so we correct. But to speak to where people are supposed to be comfortable with dealing with trauma, that's what I think is occurring, is that we're now like, oh, well, we need to learn how to cope. Well, yes, but the fact is that we're not designed for it. Like, our bodies are not designed for stress. Stress kills more people than anything else on the planet. Our bodies are not designed. We're not designed for that. Does that make sense?
That
Wait,
does
can
make
I?
sense, but I want to
I have a
differentiate
quick.
between stress and trauma. You see, because
Aren't they like one and the same? Aren't they synonymous?
No, trauma.
no,
So let me ask you.
trauma is a more extreme
Yeah, it leaves a
case.
lasting effect.
Are we
Stress
saying that saying somebody with Down syndrome, or we don't want to say Down syndrome is not normal because you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings? Because having Down syndrome is not fucking normal. Being retarded is not normal.
I don't think you're supposed to use that word.
I don't talk like that, and I'm not God, so I feel like God is incapable of making mistakes. So if it was really something so abnormal, then how was God able to create it?
The same way he was able to create men to have 6 fingers, or women who are cockeyed. Like, they're deformities. They're deformed from the norm. And if you have Down syndrome, you are deformed from the norm. The extra chromosome kind of fucks you up. God did that though.
But what determines if something is messed up or not to you?
It's not to me. It's what determines it to science. Somebody with Down syndrome is not normal. That's why they have a syndrome, Down syndrome.
What do you call the syndrome for? Like, say you was born in America, raised in America, everybody in your entire family that you've ever known is from America, but you start calling yourself the last African and only attack Black American communities. What diagnosis would you say that is?
They don't have the wrinkles in their brain. Their brain is like silk.
They smooth brain, like fucking koalas. That's
they got
what they
silk
are.
brain. But I do want to say, to what Willie was saying, he's just saying that it is abnormal because normal is what happens in large numbers. But you know, they're the minority, but he's not taking away their humanity. He's not saying that they're like less than. It's just
that's important that's important to emphasize, because I don't want to piggyback off that, because then it could come across like that. I'm not here to say right or wrong. One thing I have learned is from dealing with humans is it's so nuanced. That's why I said all y'all are correct. People could say people on the spectrum are not normal, but the children I work with are brilliant. They're amazing. So I can't say that, because I see them being more advanced in areas where neurotypical children are not, like in music and mathematics. You know, Elon Musk is on the spectrum. So it's kind of hard for me. Like I said, in my position, it would be irresponsible for me to be like, oh, normal versus abnormal, because the deeper I get into this field, you see that, like I said, God is perfect, and it's really a line. We're not really here to say what's normal and not normal, because the things you might think are normal, someone else may think is abnormal. But yeah, I can see what y'all saying about the chromosomes and what's expected in humans and things like that. But I just want to be responsible and not talk like something is better, or I don't want to create a hierarchy, if that makes sense.
It's definitely
True, real quick. Real quick. I have one question for True, real quick. Do you think that it could be traumatic if a spider crawls on a person?
I believe it can be traumatic. Sure.
Would you be traumatized if a spider crawls on you?
No.
So then you just proved my point. Trauma subjective.
But wait, I wanted to say this real quick, and this may give some type of understanding. So I learned that trauma is subjective depending on who is experiencing it, because there's something called acute trauma, chronic trauma, and developmental trauma. So what Ray was saying, some parent or whoever said it, a parent is striking another parent in front of a child. That will be called an acute trauma because it was a short-term thing. Well, for the child, every child may not think it's trauma or have anything that's holding them so, emotional to it, but a child can. So if they're like, oh my gosh, I seen, my mom hit my dad and, they're having night terrors. It just happened one time. It don't have to happen 10 times for them to have a trauma. But I feel like it's just different levels to it. So
how many times would it take a woman? How many times would it take a woman whose husband beat her ass to traumatize her? It doesn't take. It has to be sustained. He could beat her ass one good time, and then she's fucked up for the rest of her life. PTSD, all of that shit. And then there's other women, you got to beat her 10, 15 times a day for a year before it affects her. So that's how you know trauma is subjective. It's based on who experiences it.
Right.
What bothers me might not bother True. What bothers Pearl might not bother that Straw. But like either way, though, like I'm saying, if the trauma is definitely going to be subjective based on who's experiencing it.
I think I don't want to get lost in how I was trying to deliver it. To me, trauma is not subjective. I think the response of trauma is subjective. That to me is what I would better receive, because that's trauma fair. From my premise is saying that all of us are in avoidance of what is affecting us negatively, whether that is a domestic event, whether that is a sexual event. To that point, humans by and large are in avoidance of things that will alter what would be considered normal in interaction. So that to me would mean that trauma is not subjective. How I respond to it is subjective. That's why a spider wouldn't affect me, but definitely could affect Trev potentially.
But Ray, you're saying the same thing. The trauma is not subjective, but the response is. So the trauma, it will be subjective because Trev mentioned a spider crawling on somebody, and I would say somebody getting hit by a car. There's still trauma. It's still trauma. It's just it's the same. So all subjective though.
Ray, you study mental health and stuff like that?
Yes, my undergrad degree is in psychology.
Have you heard of trichotillomania?
Can you explain what it is?
May I ask how old you are?
That's gonna tell us what trickle. How do you pronounce it?
That's why I'm asking how old you are. Trichotillomania.
So my age depends on you explaining what it is?
It does, because I've heard of it 40 years ago. So
do you want a cookie?
No. I'm asking you.
Here we go.
I'm asking you. You don't have to get smart about it. I'm asking.
I'm not gonna give my age right now just because I don't see
you
the
don't
relevance.
have to give your age. You don't. I understand that you don't have to, but I'm asking because if you were younger, I understand you not understanding what it is. But if you're studying based on my family being in social work and having psychology degrees years ago, great aunties, you wouldn't know because it's something that is not on a broad spectrum. But trichotillomania is an obsessive compulsive disorder, mental.
Like believing you from Africa and you not.
Okay. And I just want to say, DJ, I'm going to probably be learning to the day I die. I don't think there's an age limit on learning. That's why I asked you what it is. That's how I'm able to learn and able to know things, because I ask questions when I don't know. I don't pretend to know things I don't know.
Right. And that's why when I asked you, I'm asking how old you are, because not to judge you, but more or less to understand. If you're younger, you give me not mentality. You're beautiful. So you give me 25. You're gorgeous. So
thank you.
You do look young. And I'm glad
you look young. And so based on that, it's not something that like Prozac, they're banning those. All the things that they gave for trichotillomania when I was a child for anxieties and bipolar in California. When I was a child, if you were 25, you wouldn't understand what trick is, because trick has been put under the radar.
What are some symptoms of it for the audience? Because they still may not.
Some symptoms for trick was pulling out eyebrows and eyelashes and hair.
Yes, I know exactly what that is. And when you said the name, it sounded familiar, but like I said, I didn't know exactly if I remember correctly. I do know what that is.
Okay.
And I
So
do want to, when we speak on these things about mental health, family ties, you gotta understand some of it is spiritual too. Meaning when we came here, we're supposed to learn these lessons and overcome these things in our lifetime. That's part of the plan of why we came here. I do want to say
women,
that, and this is why we should not identify with anything that we go through in this life, because it's all a test, and the whole point and the goal is to overcome it and come out better.
So why do people pull out their hair and eyelashes?
When it
What is the
comes
cause?
to obsessive compulsive disorder, once again, it's genetic. You can't disregard the genetic component. So you may already be predisposed to have obsessive tendencies, and then if you're put in certain situations that trigger those tendencies, this is when you may start displaying the behavior potentially. And it's a toss up, and that's why I say this thing is nuanced, because even if you go through that and you're traumatized, you can come out on the other end. And look at Eminem, and when he talks about how his mother traumatized him growing up, it's all up to the individual. But we don't, like I said, it's nuanced, it's different for everybody. I would just tell everybody, do your best to try to overcome things
it
you've gone
typically
through. Don't
starts at
identify with it.
adolescence. It typically starts at adolescence and trauma in the foundation. It typically starts prior to when a young girl gets her cycle. Someone in the comments said it's typically girls. Um, it is typically girls, but there's a lot of men that do it as well. But there's majority women that do it. Young girls start at the age it starts between the ages of 4 and 9 years old. So it starts with eyebrows, eyelashes. It's related to nail biting and skin picking, and then it gets as deep as cutting.
Yeah.
But trick
Yes,
generally
OCD.
starts with anxiety. Yep, starts in anxiety and trauma within the child at a young age. So that's
But
why I brought it up.
there are other forms of OCD too. You may have people that excessively clean and do other things. So OCD is a very broad spectrum, as are most of these diagnoses we're speaking of. I would encourage everybody to do their research, or and if they feel like them or their children may have symptoms, please get them tested, because my work is with dealing with the children. So we will have a generation of people that are growing up that are emotionally regulated. That's the whole goal, because a lot of times adults are so hard-headed and they don't want to seek therapy and they think they have all the answers. But the children are the future and they're the next generation, and they actually have potential to be great. And I'm so fulfilling with working with them.
Did JR give us the next topic?
JR,
look at that nigga's head.
He said, "Bring him up." Is his name? Is it a
Bruh.
A king?
Y'all got me
ready,
arguing
bro.
with a nigga with a Lego head. Come on, bro.
He is ready, bro. he can't even want the smoke, bro. He ain't playing with you tonight, man.
Man, all that nigga gonna come over here and do is try to hit me with a spear or a blowgun. Man, bring his ass up here.
He put the bat signal hairline in the picture.
Yo, y'all got smoke like that.
That nigga.
When you study genetics, human behavior, you don't understand
Fuck out of here.
what a few humans have.
I was just trying to see if somebody gonna read the super chat.
Oh, you want me to? I can't imitate her. She's cute. When you study genetics and human behavior, you understand how little free will humans have. Most of it is programming, and unfortunately, much of it is uncontrollable.
Correct.
Will, your emotion tells me that you are sassy. Attacking a country instead of me tells me that you are a fool. You do not know that JR is half Nigerian? Yes, I know that nigga's half Nigerian, and that half is not offended.
I do not know that.
Wait,
hold on.
JR is half Nigerian?
So listen, hold on. Let me finish reading these. Lapeef, your network always. I had class with Willie, the head detected from Living Color on the panel. In the hell you cut your hair with the weed eater? My dementia is kicking in. All right, what'd he say?
Wait, JR is Nigerian?
Half
Pearl.
Nigerian. Well, I don't know.
He do kind of look Nigerian, but I think a lot of African Americans do.
Wait, how do Nigerians look?
They just have certain
Like
features
me?
because my majority of my DNA is Nigerian. So
Hey, listen, I did an ancestry
Oh
set. I got
damn!
like
So he was talking
17%
about
in
all
me.
y'all. Y'all gonna let him talk about your country like that? God damn!
that's my
Is that
ancestors. Y'all know how I
Boy, he
feel
was
about
just
it.
ripping
Bruh,
Nigeria
listen,
whole
whoever
night.
got a problem with it, I
Damn.
won't smoke with everybody except JR. That's my nigga. But Ikene, he can get it. The old Negro spiritual OG J Speed, that geriatric dick rider, he can get it too. Like, I'm not ducking no
D
smoke.
rider is wild. Bo,
Like,
what
y'all
is
put
going
the right
on?
nigga on for Thursday.
Well, every time I get on at night, it's going ham.
Yeah, the freaks
It
come
was
out at
so
night.
calm.
Pause.
We were
Like,
having
what is
such
going
a
on?
healthy dialogue.
And just understand,
It
I
was. I don't know what
responded. I
happened.
didn't
Somebody
start
flipped the
nothing. I
table.
just responded to it. I didn't start shit. I just
That's
responded
all right.
to
It's
it.
not. It's not too late.
Me
You can keep
either.
it going.
We was having a reasonable conversation, and the last African came in here and started talking about FBA children and this, that, and the third. Black
Man.
American
And that
women,
weirdo Shanta account. And I'm like, what the?
I'm calling
Shanta,
ISO
shut
last
the
I
hell
gotta
up.
ask white women for head. I love white women. All this weird stuff. I know
Who
I
said
know.
I love white women? I love white women.
We
What's
need
wrong
to
with
get
white
Trump
women?
on these Africans because
I
them
don't.
niggas is a problem too.
Wait.
Mike
All they
White, what's
doing is
wrong with
coming
white
over here and
women?
scamming up shit, driving up
Nothing.
insurance prices, and making fucking
We,
passport
DJ,
lines
we
longer.
don't have all day. That's a long list.
Yeah, no, you can't bring Ekin. That nigga gonna talk for 36 minutes straight and not say shit, nothing. Just let me tell you. Let me say. Just let me say. I
Y'all
have to say this. I have to
tripping.
say this. Have you not seen the nigga on the panel before?
I'm just
No, let me explain. Let me explain. I must explain to you. Like, no, nigga, shut up.
I must
Super chat that
explain
shit.
to
Let us
you.
know it's
Hey,
real.
what? Was there another video or no?
I'm
Yeah,
so
Jared,
glad
just
that
play
you
either
said
one.
this because
There we go.
honestly, I'm so glad that you said this because it's in my mind, but it doesn't get talked about enough at all. So I even drew a picture for it. This is how women tend to view the world. Men at the top and women at the bottom. The oppressor and the oppressed. In reality, it breaks down more like this. We have men in the 1% at the top. The women who are in the 1% usually attached to those men. Some of them are married. We have men in the top 10 to 20%. Those are your men who make, those are your six-figure earners to middle class. And the women that are just below them who those men tend to out-earn. These women generally look up and see up and do not see the men down here at the bottom that essentially hold up society. These are your electricians, your plumbers, your trash men, all the workers that you don't see and don't care about who keep society running. But because the average woman has much closer proximity to the men down here than the men up here, they just blame these men for the shit that these men do. This is not the patriarchy. This is and really not even patriarchy. It's plutocracy and oligarchy, and everyone up here is your oligarchs. You're just blaming the men down here for not stopping the men down here, even though everyone up here has ensured no one beneath them has the power to do so. Without, of course, violent revolution generally. And this is why these back and forths on here continue, because these women listen to these women complain about these men, but you only have proximity to these men, so those are the ones that you bitch and complain to. And these men are like, well, what the fuck do you want me to do? I'm not up here. I have no power to do anything about the shit that bothers you. These men do not pass legislation. These men do. These men do not make laws. These men aren't the one that violate your rights. These men are. This is what you call the patriarchy. Stop blaming men down here for it. They do not benefit from the patriarchy in the ways that you think that they do. If anything, they are violently victimized by it. And if you've been watching this long, you notice I've kind of skipped over these men here, and that's because these men are the men who these women want these men to become from a financial standpoint. These are the men that these women want to fuck and want to date, so they tend to kind of leave them alone until their emotions are hurt or it's convenient for them to get on these men's asses. But since this is the majority of men, that's who gets the most shit.
Okay.
Man.
Okay. All right.
You don't like that, Bo?
Here we go.
This what I heard. This what and disclaimer, right? I'm a cuss real bad this time. So
Get the beeping ready.
It was a sandwich. Like his explanation was a sandwich. It was like bullshit, and then he made a good point, and then there's a you're good, right? And then he just slathered bullshit right on top of that, and then tears. Because we need condiments, tears, right? And then
I know the only part you agree with.
hold on, and then some more good points, right? Because I won't say that all of. And then he slathered a bunch of bullshit and tears again, and then he slapped it to go. Listen, I'm not going to say that second image wasn't partially true, but the victimization of y'all, what you want us to do down here, because with them up there and we don't participate in. First of all, if the men at the bottom wouldn't be sucking the men's dick up top, we might be okay. Like if you really did separate yourselves, right? Separate yourselves from those men. But the thing is those men look up to those men, to the men that up top. And if truly you were not participating in this fake patriarchy, and I'm not going to debate that. I don't really care anymore about that. If you weren't looking up to those men and idolizing those men because of the money and the cars and all of the things that they say women like about them, that's what the men like. That's what they are attracted to. That's why they keep saying that we are attracted to it. I just want, I want part of that. Part of what he was saying is very, very true. The 1% of men and the 1% of women, the women have proximity to those men.
Gerald, leave it up when I respond.
The men, yeah, the men, the second set of men and the second set of women, they have proximity to each other. And it's not that second set of women is not even looking at the men at the bottom. It's just that the men at the bottom honestly do not have the room to be assholes like the men at the top. I'm just going to tell it like it is. I ain't going to act like, money don't make some things go away, because it do for a lot of women. But those men at the bottom act like the men at the top with far less money and dirt on their feet. I really want them to humble themselves and stop crying about the men at the top. Let's all act like those men just don't even exist at this point. And I want these men to stop cyber slurping all of the men up at the top. But go ahead with the conversation.
So I don't necessarily disagree with a lot of what Bo said. And I thought that I would never say that out loud. But what I will say, where I disagree with this, is that second portion of women needs to be cut in half, because half of those women only have access to the niggas beneath them. There's another half of women that have access to the men above them, and they're not complaining about shit because they're getting the outcomes they want. Aside from that, though, everything bro said is accurate. The one thing that I don't agree with that Bo said is that, like, you can't expect men at the bottom of the pole to admire the niggas who got to the top. We were all taught to, admire the athletes, admire the businessmen, admire the money, admire the Ferraris, admire all of those things, the access, the status, the wealth that people have, and then aspire to have those things one day. So to tell the men at the bottom to not, you say, cyber slurp, I don't think that men admiring other men is cyber slurping. Like, cyber slurping is what OG Speed is doing to me in the comments, right? That's not what they're doing. They just simply admire the men at the top because they're in a position that is superior to theirs. That is natural for us. We always want to say, okay, cool, I'm in the middle now. If I do this, this, and this, I can get to the top. So they try to do that. When he said that the women try to get the men above them to turn into the men below them, no disrespect, a lot of women will do that. They will get with the guy who is above them and try to put them beneath them because it makes them feel better. So I don't have anything else to argue or to say that I don't agree with you about, but we just can't say, like, I gave you a perfect example of cyber slurping. I don't think the one you gave would fit.
Okay, I got something for this. Y'all can take the damn chart down too. So basically, although his depiction was wildly primitive, his explanation wasn't completely accurate, but it definitely had. I agree with the sentiment. Whereas the top 1% of men, or even if you say, I'd say at least the top 5 to 10% of men have pretty much free reign on women. They have access to women because women will approach them. And when they decide to ever approach women, if they choose, they're going to get the results that they like. Right. Those rules, those, third date, those 60 days, all those stupid ass rules that women have, they don't apply to those men in most cases. Right. They don't care. These men at the very bottom, they actually despise a lot of the men at the top. Most people hate the average man, right, which most people fall at the bottom, is they hate simps and they hate the men at the top for the most part. I talk to a lot of these men. They're not very happy with those men. They don't have time to cyber slurp because pretty much they are taking all the women, right? So they don't cyber slurp those men, in my opinion. I've never heard it. I've heard them have great disdain for those particular men. They don't generally have access to women. And they don't have the answers either. Where do these women find, where do these men at the bottom find women? When do they have an opportunity to find women? When they go into dating apps. I don't know if you know the return rate, because women seem to have a different perspective of how it goes. You maybe think it goes like how yours goes when you put in your likes and then you have responses back. You can literally put 100 likes in or swipe right 100 times. There's a dude who did 2 million swipes and got one date out of it. I think he's out of Europe.
And no ass.
Yeah, no buttons. So what I'm saying is that, and not every case is that extreme, but I'm going to tell you the numbers because I did some deep studying on the dating apps with an expert, and they don't work. They're not even intended to work, not for men anyway. Men, if you swipe 100 times, you would be lucky to get one date if you're the average guy. If you go to the bar, I watch men crash and burn on a regular basis. If you go to the club, people are holding up the wall. If you go to the library or anywhere that's not a social place, then women act like you're weird for cold approaching them. Men in general don't have access to women, and you don't understand all these men that you ignore on a regular basis. This is men's reality. It is. If statistically, a third of men got no buns in a year, period.
What?
None. So what I'm saying is that these guys at the bottom, they not getting theirs. And the dudes who are a couple ticks out of that might have got one or two in the past year. That's insane. That's insane. This is what your average guy's reality is. If a woman wants to go out and get boned today, she has like a 99% chance of accomplishing it. If a man tries to do that, he could approach 100 women and nobody's going to say yes, right?
They're going to press charges.
Yes. So what I'm saying is that, and all these guys aren't really just out here trying to bone. These guys would be great fathers. These guys would be loving husbands. These guys would appreciate women because they typically don't have access to women, but they're ignored. So it's like, pick your poison. Do you want one of these guys who might not be the illest? He might not have a swag. He might be a little socially awkward. He might not make all that crazy bread, but all of the things that women get on these podcasts and say they want, he checks those boxes. So I don't think his depiction was that inaccurate. And I understand some of those frustrations just based on how, from what I got from Homeboy in a little bit, he probably falls under that category. And this is his gripe because that's his reality. And a lot of women love to dismiss these types of testimonies, but they're real. We have to.
Did you say we're going to
that this is real?
Are you going to say we're going to overlook his money?
Ray said, "I'm not overlooking the motherfucking dollar."
Right. So what's your stance on that?
Because you kind of slid that in, Trev. Is that what you're saying? Because all the other stuff I could agree with, but you said he might not make that much money, and we're still gonna.
You know why?
Bro, most
no.
women
Oh
would
yeah,
rather-
that's the thing. Like a lot of so here's the funny shit. A lot of women say, "Look, I can take care of myself. I don't need no man to take care of me." If you don't need no man to take care of you, why does it matter what he makes? As long as he is self-sufficient, why the hell does it matter if you don't need a man and you have your independence?
Because
You
they
know
can't
why it
benefit
matter?
from it.
Because he
They
wants
can't-
some cat. And if
they
he wants
can't-
some cat, he can go pay somebody.
Wait, are we talking about prostitutes or like dating regular women?
Wait, what
He the one said the men don't have access to women. They only want access to women. It's one main reason they want access to women. Let's keep it a bean.
Wrong.
We could say
wrong.
that
You're
women
wrong
only
about
want
that.
access to men.
You're
So they
wrong.
can
I said
benefit
one
from them.
main reason, not the only, but it's a main reason.
And
But you're wrong.
we would say that the main reason that those women who think that want men is for their money. So
What if
y'all
the
want
men?
to sell
What
pussy,
if the
just
women
sell it.
don't even want men? What if the women are literally minding their business? He just said the men want access to the women, and that women can have access to men at any given time. So that's not the dynamic. Let's not confuse what's going on.
I mean, it sounds like we're arguing this from like a prostitution standpoint, which I think should be legal.
He said the women. He said the men want access to women because they can't get sex, but women can. He just said that.
Well, what he's saying is that he's saying that sex is a woman's primary agency. It's not that for men. So the fact that you can go get 1,000 niggas, but you suck their dick today. A dude can't go get 1,000 women and let them eat their ass. It just don't work.
Why is
like
this
that for men.
relevant?
Whoa.
So because of what we're talking about, you're making it seem like he's saying that, well, men's primary thing for women is sex. The only men whose primary need for women is sex are the niggas at the top that's fucking all of y'all. Everybody else, they want companionship. They want friends. They want to go do shit. But the niggas at the top that y'all trying to fuck with, they the ones just fucking y'all. These bottom barrel niggas ain't running through bitches because they get none.
But y'all are dismissing y'all are disregarding the money part. It's not so much. The thing what Trav said, he tried to slide that in there like, oh, they're so nice. They might not have that much money, but they're so nice. If y'all stop dismissing that part, they probably can get more women because women like men that are responsible, we feel like are accomplishing things. Not that sitting around playing a victim, playing broke games.
The average woman's baby father doesn't show that they like niggas who are responsible.
The average woman or in general?
Which would mean an average woman.
But wait,
So you saying out of all the women with kids, most of them, their kids' dad's not about nothing?
Probably not. The way y'all tell it.
Hold on.
And there's too many single women for y'all to act like, too many single mothers to act like y'all's intuition is cold too. Like if all of that shit plays into effect, y'all act like, oh well, you know what I'm saying? Oh shit. Y'all act like, you know what I'm saying, we about to, well, this nigga wants this girl, or you know what I'm saying, men only want women for this. That's cool, but y'all can't say y'all want responsible niggas when look at y'all's kids' fathers.
Hey, I want to understand. Hold on, I want to understand what
Because ain't you somebody kid's dad too, Willie?
Hold on, what was the problem
I have
with the
custody
money?
of my kids.
But you're still somebody's kid's dad.
Hold on, y'all. Bo was trying to talk, y'all.
I'm not sure what the point is, but
That's my point.
Hold on, y'all. Bo trying to get in there. Go ahead, Bo.
I was trying to figure out what was the issue with the men not making a lot of money.
Cause she not fucking broke niggas.
I mean, I completely understand, women not wanting to date men that don't have a lot of money, but there's nothing wrong with dating men because they can't control, you can't control the economy. You can't control that the majority of the people in the country don't make a lot of money. That's just true for a lot of people in the country. So we can't put down people who don't make a lot of money. We definitely can't dismiss men who don't make a lot of money when a lot of women don't make a lot of money. So there are matches for these men.
For a second with that.
And I just don't know what the big deal with not having a lot of money is. Just in general, not necessarily for you, but just in general.
Because most women's pussy has a price tag attached to it. It's quiet. It's like their body count. They're not going to say it out loud. But you got to have this many dollars to ride that ride.
That's unfortunate.
It's not even about the amount of dollars. It's more so of, to me, I'm looking at his accomplishments. That tells me about his work ethic and his belief in self.
So if he's a billionaire that you care about,
that does not always equal.
Men
that doesn't always correlate.
And that's everything ain't for everybody. I still have, as a woman, I have the agency. I have the right to decide who I will and won't deal with. Nobody could ever take that from me. And they can't convince me to lower my standards. It would never happen.
That's not, no, that wasn't my point. That's why I said in general, not for you. I'm just trying to figure out the problem in general, because I hear a lot of women say that, because, you know, when and usually a lot of older women say that, like, you gotta have, and I get it individually, but some of us have to understand that sometimes that's all you qualify for. Some women, that's all they qualify for.
I agree.
And you have to understand that a person in the
may
same
not-
class as you, in the same situation as you, is your peer, and that is who you should be dating.
Sometimes she is not even all that to be having high standards, but by her being the woman and her energy being sought after, she still has more leverage in the situation to say, even if I don't qualify for the man I want, I just won't deal with nobody.
Yeah, I think that this conversation, like this topic matter, is sensationalized because all you're seeing is women exemplify that they've always been very selective. It's just hyper advertised. That's really what it is. Like the guys, I know all the stats. I think we all know all the stats. They not going through a whole bunch of women. 33% of men ain't getting laid. Great, good. The fact of the matter is women are selective. They're just selective. They're selective whether they broke. They selective whether they rich. They selective whether they fat. They selective to whether they ugly. Women by nature are selective. That's fact. So men, in my opinion, would be better to understand that and go after what they can accomplish. I'm outside all the time. Ugly dudes get girls. Short, tall, round, goofy. Chicks is getting stabbed.
And I talk to a fat dude and I work out. If he's nice and he treat me right, and I work out every day, and I still would talk to somebody that look like they eat steaks every day.
And does he have to have money?
Well, I don't think
That's
that it's
always, look, I'm not letting up on it. I don't care who don't like it.
We just live
hey,
in
look, it's just what it is, babe.
I don't have an issue
How
with
much
it.
money he got to have?
I know you don't personally, Willie. I'm just saying for the
y'all-
50,000th time, like that's what it is over here. That's not changing,
Listen,
bro.
I feel like
No,
you
we
should be
get it,
able to
Ray, but
trade your
how
rent-
much? What's
you
the
should be able to
benchmark?
trade your throat for pussy. If you want
When
to.
y'all
I
get
don't
to
care.
asking specific prices, we gotta talk about it offline. I already told y'all that. We're not doing that.
We gotta stop
Prices.
telling
Wait,
them that
we're not talking about prostitution here.
You
I was
said
talking
how
about how much
much?
does a man need?
Like,
I mean,
y'all
damn,
always
not
try
like,
to solicit me. We're
So
not
wait,
doing
I
this
have a-
tonight.
well, no,
I have a
we're
question.
not trying to solicit.
Trev,
I'm not trying to solicit.
Let me
you.
ask her a question.
I just
right?
want to know how much you think a man
if
should
he's
make.
asking how much, right? So say you give a nigga the box for 5,000, right? Why not say that? Because it might be a nigga or two who can put their money together and pay for it.
Damn, two niggas
It's
put their money
a
together.
few reasons I wouldn't say that.
Not crowdfunding for the
We can't gloss over that, bro. Will, what you
Who the
just
fuck
say?
in the
Yeah,
chat?
we
you
not
right now
online,
that's
and
doing
it's not that.
$5,000? Quick.
Willie,
Hey,
is you
Willie,
saying
did you
the
just say two
crowdfund
people
for the
put their money together?
Yes, Ikene is only chatting $2. OG Speed, his fucking social security check ain't gonna be $5,000. The niggas got a crowdfund to pay the fuck Ray.
You got to add that last
Yeah,
African.
but then she got to
No,
let
the last
everybody hit
African
on
not
the
gonna
same
try and fuck
price.
Ray. He gonna watch OG Speed drooling her pussy when he fall asleep.
Ew.
That's what you
I
said. You
pass
said that
on
looking
that.
at that nigga.
God damn it.
No, he gonna be the one holding the camera, beating his meat because I'm saying he ain't gonna fit.
I
That's
just take the
last
money.
African.
I don't have to be involved in none of it. I might run off, and y'all never see me on
Ray,
YouTube again.
I don't get it, Ray. So how you gonna say that it should be a price? I'm just so for the people watching. I just want to know we're trying to get some type of barometer. What should a man be prepared to spend for a woman of your caliber? Is the question. Would you answer that?
For spending on what? Was he spending on bills, dinner, what? Let's be more specific.
Whatever
since
you
we gonna
want.
have
Like,
the
what does he need?
conversation.
I'm just saying, what should his salary be? Not how much should he pay to get the box. I wasn't trying to solicit you. I was trying to say
That's how I came across.
What type of a man? No, well, damn. I thought I articulated it well. What I said was how much a man's salary should be. That's what I'm saying. For him to be able to say, like, I want this to be my whole chick and shit. So how much is he?
That's what I'm saying. What is he trying to do, Trav? Is he trying to?
He's trying to be your.
One night.
No. That's not what I was going to say. Oh no. I wasn't taking it there. I was trying to say because that's something different, right? That's not interesting. We're talking about the average person. The average person,
we're all adults here,
is sitting here trying to buy box. If you sell box, then and you have a price, you could list that. But that's not what I was asking.
The next topic.
I was just
right,
asking.
so you know.
I was asking.
I got a clip.
What should a man's salary should be? to be able to date you? Like if he want to be your main joint, what should his salary be?
I would just say certain things are common sense. So if you look at where I live, the city I live in, and you look at the median income of what it would cost to survive here, then you could kind of go from there. I live in Los Angeles, California.
That don't mean shit, because what does he have to have?
It means a lot, because if it didn't, we wouldn't have the third. We wouldn't be considered the third most expensive city in America, and to have the 5th largest economy in the world. So don't say it don't mean shit, Trev. Let's be honest if we're gonna have the conversation.
I'm being very honest, but you just listen for a second. So hold on, I got it. Hold on. So what I'm saying is that you could be asking him to pay 70% of the bills, 100% of the bills. All I'm asking is for a concrete answer. What should his salary be to be with you? Plain and simple.
And I asked you, what is he trying to do with me? I said, is he trying to go to dinner or have pay bills? I asked you that.
He wants to be your boyfriend.
So that means he wants to pay bills.
Yes. So how much should his salary
Your
be?
boyfriend is supposed to pay bills?
This is wild.
How much should he make to be with you? Long term, boyfriend, possibly husband.
However much it's gonna cost for him to live in LA to be in my proximity.
Oh God. Okay.
Google is your friend.
Boyfriend's supposed to pay bills. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Willie, you don't pay your girl bills?
Crazy. Hell no.
Yeah, he do.
I pay a lot of people bills, but
okay, why I can't have bills paid then? Y'all kill me. It's like y'all be hating on a real nigga.
So you're taking that as hate. It wasn't no hate.
I'm the number one proponent of you using your vagina and your looks to get all the money in the world.
Why it's gotta be vagina? Why it gotta be like that?
Well, no, because that's the primary thing niggas with money want from you.
That's what you said.
Men
Ray.
without money want that from women, not just me. Hold on, let's be clear. Men without money, men with money want cat. Period. It don't even have to be for me.
Well, we don't count those niggas though. We don't count those niggas. They want cat. They just agree, but we don't count them because you don't date broke niggas. So that's why I don't even acknowledge them. I'm only talking about the nigga that you will date.
But if you're not him, why are you worried about it?
What?
I'm not. I'm supporting you. I want you to make.
Y'all asking a lot of questions for a job, or y'all trying to qualify because y'all so interested.
No,
I was asking for the last.
I wasn't even asking for. I was so look right.
Now y'all not asking.
No, not for that reason.
I'm just trying to get the finder's fee. That's what I'm looking for.
Like, so y'all still are inquiring.
Look at the niggas that you see in the chat.
I don't know what's the secret. You brought up the whole thing about a man need to be making some bread. We just said how much. You brought that up.
Not just for Ray, for himself. What's wrong with a man being successful for himself and then he can get any woman he wants? Why y'all don't never touch on that?
I think we touched on that. Covered that like today.
Yeah. We touched on that a lot.
We just covered that.
Because if you're successful, you could get Ray or whatever woman you might want. Maybe. Your chances are higher if you're doing well as a man. You can have a better selection of women. You can have the women you want if you're doing better in life. That's not my fault. I don't make the rules. That's just how we go.
Look, we ain't mad at you. All we were asking was for you to be specific. You brought up the thing about money, like men need to be having some bread. So we said, okay, well, how much bread should a dude that make 50 racks be able to
How can he afford to live in LA off 50 racks and date? Did you Google the median income?
Roommate.
Did you Google it? Let me Google it for y'all.
What's wild is that you guys keep.
I remember one of my first conversations. I had to tell Dora when the median home price out here is $1 million. That they thought I was capping, so they looked it up. Let's look it up.
Inside a trailer in Inglewood.
Who?
A person.
Inglewood ain't cheap though. That's how I know y'all don't know much about LA. All that's expensive. Every neighborhood in LA is expensive now. Between gentrification and the Olympics, it's all expensive. And people had to have their bread up, and men have to have their bread up if they want to date women in LA. And it's been like that.
The crazy part is that when you get your bread up, you actually have to do less. I don't know why we keep on spreading this propaganda like men with money got to do a whole lot. No, you don't. The fact that you did what you did to stand on that, you do less. Chris Brown is not going out of his way to give money to girls and pay bills and anything like that. It's not.
How come he don't though? That's what I'm saying. You talking out of what you don't know.
No, I do know. I know personally.
So you live in LA, like, are you neighbors with me and Chris Brown out here in LA?
No, I'm not neighbors. I do live in LA.
So don't talk about what you don't know about what he don't pay for.
He do live in LA.
I do know what I'm talking about.
Y'all think Chris Brown paying bitches bills or paying for pussy? He got hoes
Yeah,
paying
he's not.
$1,000 to take a picture with him.
It don't matter.
in
It
his
don't
lap
matter what he do.
and
He got so I just went to his show sold out too. It don't matter what he do. He good. He's gonna be good. He's talented and he good. Look good.
To see him, which further proves my point, which is what I'm saying, that y'all need to stop lying and making it seem
Don't
like
think celebrities don't pay and athletes don't be paying out here paying people bills because yes they do.
you're missing my point, Ray.
Oh, okay.
Personally, I understand that in some cases men may spend on women, but the collective thought that men with money just go around spreading the wealth. They don't do that. That's not.
How do you know? Are you one of them?
Jesus Christ, ma'am. When you ascend to a certain level, one, you understand how you got there. Two, it's not necessary. Dudes that work hard and pump gas and do all that get the same chicks that look just like you to the men that run industry. And the fact that you run industry, y'all making it seem like, oh, you got to pay. No, you don't. Most of the women that talk like you, run their mouth, ain't never been in proximity to men that actually do. Ever.
Well,
it's like I don't even understand why we make this seem. Chris Brown gets paid, like Willie said, to take pictures. That it tells you value. That tells
you don't know what you're talking about. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
You don't know what you're speaking about.
You're right.
I have never seen True have to, you know what I'm saying, check somebody before, but goddamn,
LA
that boy
is
is
big
good.
and it's small. Chris Brown, a lot of celebrities, they live out here. It's not like what you think it is, babes. They will pay. Yes, they will.
Again, I'm not dismissing all of what you're saying. I'm saying in the collective market of dating.
So why are you speaking of celebrities if you're talking about the collective marketing?
Because I use it as a point of reference for a man that people know that takes pictures with women and they pay him. See, Chris Brown is not saying come to my show and give me $500. He's saying in order to be seen with me, you have to pay. That's the reality.
On the entertainment side. That's not his personal life.
This is the same across all industries, ma'am. This is the same across all industries. If you run, no, it's the truth.
I'm in the industry. I'm
not talking about entertainment industry. I'm saying
I mean the movie, not the music, but yes, movies and shows. Why you making that face, Willie? Yes.
I thought you just said you was a clinician or therapist or some shit. You got more jobs than a Jamaican.
I've been graduated from college. Duh.
What's that? So wait, so you're saying you're a clinician because you graduated from college?
I'm a clinician because I passed the exam and I have my license. Willie, are you mad because I'm an actress and I'm a licensed therapist? Does that bother you?
There's nothing in life you can accomplish that would upset me.
So why are you looking so perturbed?
Because what you said didn't make sense. That doesn't make sense face. You gave me clarification.
It don't have to make sense to you. That's what's wrong with people always trying to box people in.
It has to make sense to me.
My life don't have to make sense to you.
Right. Breathe. It's okay.
I'm good. I'm just saying I don't like for people to box me in, baby. I'm multidimensional.
No one boxed you in. You just
said,
gave
how
us
can
a
you
new
be
dimension.
an actress and have a license and be a licensed
I didn't say how do you can be an actress in English. Not one time did I say anything that sounded like that.
And why? Like, we might have to do that reaction that we talked about.
Yeah, I think so. The only thing I was thinking is, what would a Pan-Africanist like the last African have to say about this? Where are the white women? That's all that they care about. God, please.
That boy said she multi-dimensional like Doctor Strange. Boy,
like I give y'all.
And Doctor Strange, probably, I heard he was a goat. I never even seen the movie, but I always hear amazing things about him. So thank you.
Right, like I'm gonna let the chat decide, man. Like, do you guys want us to discuss this Dr.
Chat
Brian?
on one tonight. I hear you.
Yeah, like you want us to discuss this Dr. Brian, or do you want me to bring up the clip from yesterday and we can kind of react to it?
Bring up the
I vote for yesterday.
For yesterday.
Our movie on Tubi and Amazon. What y'all thought?
Shit, I want to be on Pornhub, so I mean, everybody got.
That's free. You ain't even gonna. You ain't got, I don't think you can get paid to be on there. I got paid to be in these shows and movies.
On what?
Hey, wait, you talking about how they did Ann? Because I don't want to watch that shit again.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's what they were saying. Yeah.
Oh no, you can mean if you're gonna play it, we can play, but I don't want to.
Well, we were supposed to, Willie. We supposed to look at it because we talking about healing and hiding and seeing is there some therapeutic value we can derive from the instances that occurred yesterday.
No,
yeah, let's see it. I don't even know what happened.
No,
I was in a movie called Blinded by Love. It's on
Cabbage lady was just didn't like each other, so they were just going at it. Ain't no healing or hiding.
Main character.
Like, Mrs. Magoo said, you can't hide that wig, and Ann's being the Cabbage Patch Face said, you can't hide nothing either. We saw what that fuck happened yesterday.
I didn't see it, and I
didn't see it at all.
Yeah, I want to know. I'm no.
Nigga, what, you on the panel? No, Trev, you wasn't. My bad, bro. My bad. My bad. Go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and play a little bit of this Dr. Brian.
Yeah, just a little something. Just a little something.
I
Just
would
the best
say
part.
I'm gonna do Dr. Brian first, then we'll do the other one.
Damn, she's still doing podcasts after she found out. We found out she was a 5-year side bitch.
I mean, we'll see.
Hey, we all got to start somewhere.
Tell me this: how can a low value man be?
Huh?
They saucy. I got the IMDb. I know y'all. Y'all probably could never get casted to go to a window. Uglies.
Okay, we got.
I think y'all
hold on, y'all.
Yo,
y'all ready? Y'all ready?
God.
Hey, Ray, you ready? Okay.
All right, Doc. Tell me this: how can a low value man be high functioning? That's what I want to know. How can a low value man be high functioning? Tell me that.
Hold on, that's it. You just let me drink. Take me a sip.
Yeah,
But
take a
no,
sip, me too.
Because no, that does what you just said leads into that question. Because when he took it straight, he said, "Hold on, y'all had your woman talk. We gonna take
going
it
way too long."
Dang. Okay. How can a low value man be high functioning?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to clear this up.
Okay.
Kevin Samuels used his low value or his term of value as the noun of value, which is morals and values, which I love that too. I loved his term as well, right? Morals and values of a person. I use the value term as an adjective word, which is value in your success, your accolades, your money, your relationships, what you got going on socially, economically. So when I say a man can be low value, that just means that he doesn't make a lot of money. His economic status isn't high. He's not affluent. High functioning just means that this man has emotional intelligence. He has ability to regulate his emotions. He has ability to sit and create resolve with us and not bring in more impairment into our conversation, right? A perfect example of high functioning is what me and your beautiful wife just did.
Yeah.
We had a perception exchange. There's things that she heard me say that she pushed back on, but there was never a time where our emotions wouldn't allow us to receive each other. Right.
Yeah,
And still not have a respectful conversation. And after this, still give a hug and love on each other and have a glass of wine if we wanted to, right? So again, low value man is a man who just economically isn't affluent.
Gotcha.
Doesn't make a lot of money, just to put it out there easy. High functioning means this man can have a conversation.
Oh, okay.
This man can regulate his emotions.
That's what I
He
mean,
can
bro.
receive a difference in opinion.
Okay.
Right? He is not fleeing or sabotaging the conversation as soon as things don't go his way because his inability to sit in uncomfortable emotions or sit in discomfort when the table isn't turning to him. Just like a high value, low functioning man, which is a lot of men at the yacht, they can travel, right? They can in their illusion, can't be bought. That's a whole nother episode.
Some they can't be bought. They being bought every day.
Let's talk about that too.
They being bought right now.
And men are getting exactly what they paying for.
And when you say that, what you mean?
They're getting what they paying for. That's
like.
You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
They getting either vagina, an STD, or a baby mama. That's it. That's all you buying. You can't buy substance. You can't buy love. You can't buy this. You can't buy marriage. This ain't bought. Okay, this ain't bought. This is built. This is built. This is intimacy. This is love. This is conversation. This is love each other by knowledge of each other. This can't be bought.
For sure.
You have a woman.
Well, you can't buy love, but you can buy a woman, though. She might not love you.
You can buy a body.
Okay.
There you go.
You can buy a vessel.
Okay.
You can have an exchange for a service from a woman, whether it's time, sex, or time or sex. Oh, I'm sorry. Time or sex. Oh, I'm sorry. Those aren't substances, right? So you can buy those. That's called solicitation and prostitution. Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
You asked about high functioning and low value.
Yeah.
A high value, low functioning guy has a lot of money. That's value, but he has low functioning behavior. He can't process his emotions. He has a lot of narcissistic characteristics. If the conversation goes in a way that doesn't work for him, guess what?
Stop it there for a second, because they're gonna ask her why she is single. I'll get to that part, but I just want to kind of give you guys a break. You're on mute, just so you know, Willie.
How are we still listening to a woman that admitted to fucking with a nigga off and on for 5 years that's 10 years younger than her and talking about because she don't want to commit, but she telling women to stop. Don't be out here fucking for free, being like everything that she tell women she doesn't do. She's the exact fucking opposite. Like this is y'all's hero though. Well, a lot of y'all. Not I don't know about people on the y'all before y'all.
I was about to say, boy, don't talk too soon. I'm sorry, man.
That's not my hero.
Not my hero.
Listen, before y'all fucking strangle me with your tampon strings, I'm just saying this: that a lot of women look up to her and listen to the shit that she talk about and take it as if it's fucking law. And then when Paul Pierce exposed her, like people act like that interview ain't on the internet no more. Like she said that literally she's not doing nothing she was talking about. Nothing. Then she say, well, I just recently took my IUD out and started being serious because, you know, I do want to have, ma'am, you are 44. Now you want to be serious? Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, this shit is I feel like Groupon has audacity and delusion on sale, like buy 2, get 3 free. Because this is the dumbest shit ever.
That's why I call her Miss Word Salad. I'm sorry. I call her Miss Word Salad. And her correlations are not always true. Like you can have a low value man who's not high functioning either because he's not able to make as much money. And that may be what his identity is tied into. So his emotions, his morals and values may be completely off. He may be money motivated. So he may not be as high functioning as she's saying. And then you get what we see now, a lot of what we would deem as high value men. They are communicative. They're literally telling you what they want, what they need, their standards, what they're willing to accept, what they're not. And I don't think that's narcissistic. So like I said before, she talk a lot of shit, but I don't really be thinking she can back it up all the time.
Don't make sense. Basically, you know what she did? Yeah. She basically said that a man's value
Bo, you drinking out the wine bottle?
Is tethered to his money. His money. Right? So her explanation of how a man could be low value means that he is a high value man. He just doesn't have money. Like but you're saying he can't be high value just because of how the money. That shit is crazy. And that's why a lot of women end up in stupid ass situations that they do because they follow idiots like her, and you're gonna fuck around and find out. Simple as that. If you want to go ahead and measure a man's value based on his money, good fucking luck. You're gonna get what you get.
Ain't she still on tonight's conversation, JR?
That's why you
it
know
shouldn't be the only thing you judge a man on, but it's definitely part of how I'm judging him.
Nah, Ray, cut it out. You won't even tell us.
It's a nice conversation.
It's not only.
Tonight's conversation ain't been incredible since Trip left.
And what's the odds that they'll watch this show? I don't care.
That part.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
You don't need a lot of money for certain lifestyles.
Okay, I heard what you're saying. So would you take a high functioning man making $50,000 a year?
That wouldn't fit my lifestyle.
So you wouldn't take him?
Thank you.
Not because he makes $50,000.
Well, why?
Because he makes $50,000.
It is because he makes 50 high functioning.
It's not the judgment of the dollar amount.
What is
it's
it?
because of where I'm at in my lifestyle. So it wouldn't be equally yoked. It wouldn't be yin yang for me. Now, let's just say.
So that's the reason, though.
That's the reason.
Cheyenne, because you said you wouldn't take him if he made $50,000. It's not about judgment. It's about the fact that you just can't pay for what you need.
What I'm saying is, if a woman is in the space where she's making $80,000, and this man can add to whatever her lifestyle is, and he makes $50,000, for her that is conducive. I'm not going to say the amount I make, but I do really, really well.
Yeah.
And so if I got with a man who's making $50,000, I would be the breadwinner, and I would be taking full care of him because the lifestyle that I have for myself and my family wouldn't be fair to him, because he would come in and he wouldn't even be able to slightly provide.
Makes total sense. Makes total sense. I wouldn't take a man as making $50,000.
But what I'm saying is, but it goes further than that, because psychologically, that would impair that man. That would impact that man. I have yet to meet a man who doesn't want to be able to add or provide when he is saying, I'm ready to be a husband and I'm ready to be a father. Those men who are family men, not street men, family men, they take pride in providing for their wives. And so if that man can't provide, that is a direct emasculation on its own.
I agree with all that.
Yeah, totally.
But I'm a little confused because you said it wouldn't be because he makes $50,000. But that is the reason, right?
No. I'm taking accountability and saying it would be because of what I make. It would be because of where I am in my life. So it wouldn't be because you make $50,000, you ain't shit. It would be because of where I am in my life, right?
Right.
You just wouldn't be a good fit. I wouldn't be a good fit for you.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
it's
you
not.
make
So it's not me.
$50,000.
Because my thing is, I have friends who are married, who are making a certain amount, and they are very freaking happy and living a great lifestyle. It's all subjective. And so again, I would never tell a man, let me word it better, because you made 50,000, you can't be with me. That's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is, because of where I have grown and because of the lifestyle I became accustomed
What
to,
she is saying?
I wouldn't be a good fit for you.
That's the same thing.
That's the same thing. That's what I was asking.
It can be to us because you're not the man I'm saying that to.
Okay, I get what
So
you're saying.
for me, because when I'm having a conversation with a man about this, my intention is never to emasculate him or never to make him feel small. So words do matter when it comes to a conversation you're having
that
with
makes
someone.
20,000 just
When
don't
you
qualify.
intentionally are not trying to tell them, you ain't good enough, bruh.
But what if he's high functioning? He making 50. He make you feel
For
beautiful.
me personally, that is still a great man, but he's not conducive for where I am in my career.
Because he don't make enough
as a
money for
woman.
you.
Because he couldn't sustain, and it would in return affect this man.
Be honest. You couldn't respect him. You couldn't.
No,
respect
I could
him.
respect him.
You can respect him.
Yes.
Well, then why wouldn't you take him? He make 50. He make you happy.
Because what happens is psychologically, when that man cannot provide for a woman of my caliber, it affects him. So as he becomes emasculated, as his confidence starts to dip, as his self-esteem starts to dip, at that point, a woman starts to lose respect because I can only respect you at the level that you respect yourself. So why would
Go ahead, Bo.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, so I've never heard her speak except for like the interview with Cam Newton. She just contradicted the mess out of herself. She was just talking about low earning, high functioning men. And now she is dismissing someone because they make 50,000. And because if the same thing was true from before, what she said, that man who makes 50,000 knows that you make much more than him. And he would be high functioning enough to understand and accept that, right? Based on her logic. It's dumb. But also, and see, this is where y'all hear my actual logic, right? If I make significantly more, like if I am very well off and I can take care of myself, right? If I meet a great man that makes $50,000, I'm making whatever, enough to cover the both of us, and he makes 50,000. What's the problem? Especially if that man is going to love you. If that man is going to be there for you. If that man is going to be everything that you need, money is not an issue. You can cover that, and with his 50,000, he can spoil you with that. Like, he would spend his money on you because you're already taking care of it. Like, it's not that that man can't do anything. It's that she wants a man to come in and she wants him to replace what she is doing for herself. And he can't do that. So you're going to spend your life trying to find someone who can match your income but be low functioning, instead of you being okay to pay the bills and be the breadwinner and have that man that loves you and he can still do things for you. It's just everything that she said was just a big contradiction. And she's essentially saying, you're not good enough for me. And she's really just trying to play psychology and put it off on herself. I wouldn't be enough for you. I couldn't do. She's saying she don't want nobody to make 50,000. It's stupid.
A lot of people I think when we have these conversations, a lot of times we don't think about like what we're the other information that we're given outside of our opinion. Like when women talk like that, you can tell that one, they've never had a nigga that makes the type of money that they want. Two, they don't have access to those types of niggas. And three, they're just coping. Because again, if like to the man that she wants, she's the poor person. She's the $50,000 a year person to the man she wants. And so I do well. But when she gets into a relationship with the nigga, she's not going to have a problem because she's going to be like, well, spend all your money. I'll keep mine. Like we gotta stop taking relationship advice from single fucking whores. Like, I'm so sorry. God damn. Like, why are we talking? We listening to people like, ladies, y'all all want men. Why in the fuck would you listen to somebody who can't get or keep one? And the one that she does have is off and on just sex, and the nigga's 10 years young, unless y'all want to do that, right? Like, if y'all want to be Stella's, getting your groove back, no judgment. Young niggas deserve cougar pussy too. Got it. But like, we got to stop listening to these motherfuckers as if they, like, their circumstances and their like present life do not match the message they have. Like, nothing about her current situation lends to her being an expert or what she thinks mattering, because it didn't fucking work for her. So like, she gonna tell Da Simone, like, hey, Da Simone, don't date a $50,000 nigga if you make $200,000. But she's not dating a nigga who make $200,000, but she's fucking him. Like, you just like the incongruence of her point, and then the way that her life doesn't correlate to her message. Like, I thought Derek Jackson was bad. I used to wish that he would die on his birthday. But right now, I wish that all these women get fucking throat cancer and stop talking.
Oh, Willie, come on now. It's getting a little bit extreme, man.
Dead ass.
God.
She was asked about how come she wasn't married on this part too.
No one, I'm gonna have
I
to have
think
full control. No one, I'm gonna have to take full care of you, and then just say, well, it's gonna affect you mentally, and when it does, you know, I'll just roll on that and maybe either take advantage of your vulnerability or just say, well, you know, I can be the powerhouse. I can always look like the one that's big, the big shot or the big dog of this relationship. Right. No, I'm not here to make a man feel small. Mm-hmm. I'm here to make any man, whether it's my man or a man outside of me, to know he's a king. Mm-hmm. And he needs to be with the right fit to be kinged, because it will affect that man a lot more than it will affect the woman who is choosing him.
Do you want
I see it happen in my office all the time.
Do you want to be married eventually?
Yes, I will.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Why do you believe you're not married already?
Well, I mean, one, I wanted to wait until my career was fully, really to the space it is now. I wanted to make sure that I didn't have kids, for me personally, born in a deficit. Mm-hmm. They're born in equity, and equity is not just financial things, right, and accolades and things that I can offer surfacely or externally, but I wanted to make sure that I was in a place where I'm not just choosing a husband, but I'm choosing a father. A lot of women choose husbands, and then they go, he's not a great father. Mm-hmm. And of course, you don't know if he's good at either until you are in the experience of them. Mm-hmm. But you can use something called wisdom that can help you choose better. Doesn't mean you're going to choose perfect. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't mean that I'm exempt from divorce or I'm exempt from any of the things, because I'm not, that come with a marriage or a relationship whatsoever. But yeah, I wanted to wait until I am exactly where I am now. And so this year, I've said on other shows as well that I took my IUD out this year, and I am now ready to be married. And I think that if more people did it on their terms, I think that marriage would be healthier. Not perfect. Doesn't mean it's without problem. Mm-hmm. I think that it would be a happier marriage, because you're doing it from a place of, I now as a woman or as a man, I'm ready, and I feel like I have the things I want to offer my partner, not what can I get from you. Okay. I want to get married because I'm lonely. I want to get married because, you know, I need economic help here. I want to get married because I want to have someone looks good on my arm. Those aren't reasons to get married. I now feel like I have the things I want to offer my husband, not just, you know, what I had in the past, which would have been good enough because I was engaged, you know, twice. But for me, I want to be able to be like, listen, I did all this work, baby, not just for me, but I had my husband in mind. I did this entire time that I was building my career, that I was building, you know, my family, which is my mother and my brothers and my siblings. I was building my character. I was building my way of being of service to my husband. And I was building my attitude of gratitude. I was fixing my abandonment. I was fixing the internal things that I felt would cause impairment through experience of other relationships I've been in. You know, I was fixing knowing when to shut the hell up and allow him to just be a man. I was fixing my emotional intelligence. And so if people would work on themselves first, the relationship won't be perfect, but it'll damn sure be mature. It'll be emotionally intelligent, and it'll be a lot better than the relationships and marriages that are in my office and that I see everybody put a mask on about.
Okay, what you saying there, do you think your profession make you look at relationships and marriage different?
Well, who gave you these questions?
Nobody. These questions I got for you. I got a lot on my plate.
I love them.
Hey man,
She took that fucking long to say, I don't have access to the type of man I want, and I've been getting my back blown out by young niggas, so that's why I'm not married. It took her that long to say all of that.
So wait a minute. She just said she took her IUD out, so she got cats just shooting the club up right now. She thought it would be a great idea for her to wait till she's like, you said she was 44 up in this piece, and she decided that now would be a great time to get serious about marriage and then children. What so and then she has these weird thresholds, like as far as the money and other shit like that. What does she think there's actually a character who's going to put that much work into their lives, who's going to decide to select such a broken, weird woman like this? That's crazy. What makes her think that somebody putting that much work financially, once you do all of the things that she's talking about, it's a wrap? And then I don't want to get into the whole perk, because I know JR, you said don't really trash him, but all I'm just saying is that she's barely mid, barely. So she don't have anything working in her favor outside of her having bread, which is not necessarily the most attractive thing in the world for men because of what comes with that. So I don't understand what individual is going to want to be with her, and she's advising people to do shit. That's bizarre, because everything that she says is like textbook shit you should never do in life if you want to be married and successful in a relationship.
Hey, real quick, blink twice if you're okay.
I'm cool. I'm almost to my location, but I'm listening. And I was listening, waiting for my time to talk. I'm just listening to y'all because this lady, mm, I don't understand it. I really don't. And she said, well, she basically gave this fairy tale description of two different types of men, and then basically said like, and she was like, I would rather choose the high functioning, low value, whatever the fuck she said, some bullshit. And because it was some bullshit for real. And then she proceeds to say, but he wouldn't be a good fit for me. Like, bitch, how? That doesn't even make sense. And then she proceeds to say, well, low value men, which is the men who make lower money, they come with all these problems. So you're basically saying low value men can't be high functioning. You just literally argued your own point. You just literally debunked your own point. And I don't truly believe in it. In my lifestyle, it reflects that just based on, what I do, who I date, who I surround myself with, the considerations. But then I didn't know, because I've watched some of her podcasts. I'm not going to say I follow her like she's the person who I feel like could do no wrong. I don't think that. I think I've heard her say some good things. But then when y'all start telling me about her background, I'm like, oh, she didn't. It's a lot of women out here, because that's what I feel like. When we ate the apple for, the tree of knowledge, whatever. It's a lot of women out here who know better but don't do better. It's too many women out here that know better and don't do better. And they feel like they should get these kudos. They feel like they should be married. They feel like they should do all these things because they know better, but their life don't reflect it. And then she wonder why she's 44 and single. I just want to know, like, do you really think you Janet Jackson? Like, did you live the lifestyle that Janet Jackson lived? Like, what are we doing here? So, I don't know. She just completely confused the mess out of me.
Look, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, don't listen to these heathens. I want you to take the real and white, and we can get on the tonight's conversation stage and discuss all of these issues, because these heathens have taken it too far.
We taking your Chicago flag for that. You ain't gonna go no more. It's all. I'm going where she live.
Man, I'm trying to tell you. You already know.
I expect that from Dope, bro. I don't expect that from you.
It was a joke.
No way.
Damn, I can't joke. I've been joking.
You were serious, because if she came in this chat was like, okay, M-Wade, I'm gonna hit you up. Look, he gonna put his Instagram and everything in there just in case she see it.
He did some shit like this.
And he gonna super chat his Instagram name, so we gotta read it out loud for when she hears it.
What'd you ask me? It's the real M White.
I mean, that's really crazy though, because I mean, much respect to the business side of it, but I do think people gotta pay attention to the information and who they're receiving it from, and that's just all people. Even on the internet, even the spaces you be in, because some people don't even realize that the space that they in, even though they may be agreeable, but it's still withholding you from growth. And so I just think we just got to be mindful and always just kind of turn your head a little bit and just kind of process what somebody else is saying. Because the information can be good, and how important it is to you for that person to be exhibiting their life. There's a lot of doctors that are not in shape, and they know probably more information than we do. You have some dentists that don't even brush their teeth or floss. So I just think that it's easy for people to tell other folks what to do, and it's really hard for folks to be disciplined and to actually cross over. They can read the information, but they don't put it into an action. So they can spit it out, but they never put it into an action. So it's something
You
else.
can tell just by how casually she just talks about things and how she's like, yeah, basically it's like when he asked her that question was like the ringer question about her profession. Do she think it has an effect on her outlook of dating? I think because she helps so many people and she feared going through what they go through, that she's painting this perfect, she's planning this perfect life out in her head, perfect person, perfect this, perfect that, not realizing there's never a right time. There's never a right time. You're always going to meet a person, and no matter how old you are, you're still going to have to go through the steps of blending your life with theirs. You're still going to have to go through the steps of finding their communication styles, their love language. It's still going to be a mess, and there's not a guarantee that if they're always living their life just as picture perfect as her, when they're finally triggered, they're not going to know how to deal with that, because she's already dealing with relationships in an unrealistic manner. It's like, girl, you set yourself up for failure, not marriage. Like, I'm confused.
Her admitting the fact that she signed up to being a side chick for half a decade tells you everything you need to know about her credentials and her standard of life. A woman who can participate in such a low vibrational exchange for half a decade should get nobody coming into her office and paying for her advice, because her action
Is that a fact? She was a
She said it herself.
She said it
Oh
herself.
my God,
Bro, go
That's
watch the
crazy.
Paul Pierce interview. He cooked her,
So
bro.
that's just like the homegirl
Sadia Khan.
they was talking about. Yeah.
No, Sadia Khan was worse. That was different. She told that lady she was gonna suck her husband dick on her birthday and her wedding day. Like, she went left.
Yeah.
She went crazy. I was like, God damn. And she charging people £6,500, like $88,000
for a 1 hour video call.
For a 1 hour video call, and men are paying her. Like, if I'm paying you $8,000, you come on that call with your titties out. Like, we gonna start there.
Wait, Willie, she said what? She was gonna do something.
She was a side chick. She was a Cheyenne Bryant to another nigga. His wife found out, so they was going back and forth, and she was like, "What are you gonna do about it? If I want to, I'll suck his dick on your birthday or on your wedding day."
So, Bo, he's talking about somebody else. You're not talking about her.
No, I know who.
Yeah.
Oh.
What's his name? And them did a real like good expose.
Aubrey and Preach.
Yeah, Abba and Preach. And I don't even really like them, but the way that they set her up to interview her, and she's tricked on herself, and then they were showing her screenshots and playing messages of what she said. She tried to be like, well, I just react like that sometimes, and I need to get better about that. Ma'am, you told that lady.
They created like a safe space for her.
Yeah, like you told that man's wife that she was gonna top him off on her birthday and her wedding day. Like, he finna go marry you right after I finish, what did you say, cyber slurping in real life. Like, she finna go hit him with the OG speed on her wedding day.
Well, what, you in the garden or you over east?
I'm Austin. I'm not Austin. I'm in the Austin area. I'm off Central.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Some West Side shit. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a West Side baby. Look, all my blood relatives from outside, we the only West Side babies.
Okay.
Y'all the only ones with good sense.
My grandma said the South Side girls was always known for being bougie and pretty, and then the West Side girls was known for being ghetto. So every time I go to one of my family reunions, they're like, "Oh, here come the ghetto West Side chick." I'm like, I'm not even ghetto. Like, they be doing too much.
Like people that
You could
are
have kept that
ghetto,
part of that story.
people that's ghetto, I don't even think they even realize they're ghetto. Like they have normalized it. So
Is you trying to talk about me?
I didn't say anything about you.
Oh, okay, I'm just making
No,
sure because I said I don't feel like I'm ghetto, and then you made that
no, I
comment.
kind of wish you would have came in earlier because everything that's happening now, even when Ray, you still there, Ray?
You said what? Everything that's happening now, what?
I said the conversation that we have earlier and the things that transpire afterwards kind of remind me as to why those conversations are important on the front end, because it kind of spoke to us being like self-aware as far as how we respond to situations, environment, conflict, discussions. I think
Yeah.
that it was very important. It was telling afterwards. It was almost like a repeat of yesterday at some point in time today.
Y'all still ain't tell me what happened yesterday. I'm trying to find the tea. Okay.
I
What's
asked
the
them to play the
tea?
video. They
Y'all
didn't
know
play the
Yeah,
I've
they
been
video.
won't. They
trying to
won't.
get
They
back
won't
in
play
my
the video, man.
Play
I
the
don't
video,
know.
JR. Fuck it.
y'all know I've been trying to get back in my routine. So
Just play the
What
video,
routine?
dog.
I've been trying to include JI in there. I want to be here every Wednesday and Thursday.
Okay.
All
Forgive
right.
me, y'all. I'm mature now.
That's what happened, man. They always come back, man. They always come back. Sometimes you gotta let them go out there and play. See how dirty he is. Come on back home.
So men, y'all hear this? When it comes to relationships, sometimes y'all just gotta let her go. If she come back, then it's
Nah,
just
she
like
can't.
that all the way around.
No,
Can
that
you
don't work
drop
in
the link for this
relationships.
cosplaying
No, that
African?
don't work in relationships. She ain't coming back. Once you go out and straight, that's that. Ain't no backsies.
But she might
Fuck you
not be
talking
in the
about?
street. She might be at
Listen, I
home.
don't give a fuck what she talking about. Ain't no
You
backsies.
want to drop the link for this cosplaying African?
Oh man.
I need to
Take
know
that week
what
Yo,
off
don't
happened,
do that, yo.
honey.
He got wait, who you talking about? Who you talking about, M. White?
The cosplaying African.
You
The
said
last
cosplaying.
African who never been to Africa.
Oh, I don't know who that is. I'm not
Marcus
familiar with
he always beefing with the Africans, man.
Oh, you got
No, just that fake one. He a fake African.
JR, you gonna play the video?
Man,
Yeah, I'm trying
look,
to pull it up. I'm trying to pull it up
he
right
don't,
now.
he don't know nobody African. He don't speak no African languages. He's never been to Africa. He don't know nobody in his family that's African. He might not even have no online African friends. But he called himself the last African live. Live where? Nigga, you never lived there. God damn.
Like we told you, the West Side is crazy. We told y'all.
Oh yeah, if you
I
on the
ain't
west
messing with
side,
y'all,
check
yeah.
out my lace real quick. Make sure y'all hit me up. I got
Let me
my
see.
license
Bring
in
it up
May.
close. I'm trying to bring it up close. I'm trying to see the flyer.
Don't get it twisted. Don't
Blow it up, JR. Let's see it for real.
You could tell you know what you're doing because the lace part match your skin tone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you did real good, Di.
Yeah.
Now
You got the orange glow.
Yeah, you did real good.
You shouldn't even told nobody that was
Okay.
you know what I mean?
That's
You
that
should have just
FBA
lied.
glow, Di.
You should have just lied. You could have got it off.
I got my
Should've told us.
license. Oh, you thought it
You
was
should-
my hair? Like I did a
You could have
blend
just
in?
said it was coming out your roots, man.
Nah, I ain't no stunt. Y'all know I rock my afro. Y'all know how my hair look. I still come out here natural.
You could have pressed it out.
No, I'm not trying to mess up my curl. When my hair down my back, like when y'all see my afro out here, then you gonna see me just.
If you come on this panel next time with an afro, you got to reintroduce yourself to me.
The last time I was on here, I had an afro. I got you.
All right, bet.
All right,
Yeah, I do my afros.
here we go, y'all. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Is that
Show
bad?
me.
This the
Just like
empathy
you tried
lady?
to insult my
This
intelligence.
is why we should invite. This is the woman who's advocating.
Like her.
Black
She's doing.
woman.
But
However, she did say that she thought that she should be
and take her position. Let's have more people of color going
That's
into
fair.
office.
I think
Running.
what you're saying is fair. I think what you're saying is fair. But let's ask this question, right? Imagine we flipped the race in that story. Like we flipped it, and it was a white woman who walked into a white and said, "Oh, give me this job because I'm white."
Checkmate.
Right? I don't think people will respond as
They
positively
do it
and
all
say,
the
"Oh,
time.
That's called nepotism. When your
I'm
uncle
all
owns
for
a
it.
company
I'm
and
all
then
for it.
he
Nepotism isn't a white
hired,
people thing.
they
Nepotism
do
is
it
a
all the
people thing.
time. I'm an accountant. I'm probably the
I,
only black
Ali, that's
person
different
there.
though.
I'm all
All
for
right,
nepotism.
there's a difference between saying, "Yo,
Shit.
that's my uncle, give me a job," and "Hey, I'm white, give me a job because I'm white." Like that's a
I mean,
very
that's the
different thing.
same
Like,
thing because you're keeping it in
how?
the
No, it's not
family.
the
That's
same
blue
thing. It's
blood
not. It's not even
syndrome.
remotely the same.
Now, most of the time, it's people. Most of the time, we do that because we hire people who we're familiar with, who we're comfortable
Yeah,
with. That's nothing new.
nepotism
It's
is
always
normal.
happened.
The only reason why
That's why
we
they
have an issue with
in the
nepotism is because most
interview
black
they
people
got to
aren't in the
see if they
position to
The
like
job
you.
I'm
benefit from
working
it,
right
and
now,
y'all
I
proud
got because
about
of
it.
nepotism. The job I'm working right now, I got because of nepotism. Because my
I'm
people's work
sure.
there. That's what I'm saying.
Can I
Like,
ask? Can I
What
ask y'all a
Cloud,
everybody benefits
question?
from nepotism.
but what Cloud is saying is he's saying that we wouldn't have this.
Black
She's doing,
woman,
but
a black
if a
woman went
white
into a
person walked
predominantly
into,
white space and asked to be hired because she was black. How
they
would
do it
that
all the
translate?
time.
How would that translate if a white woman went into a predominantly black space and asked to be hired because she was?
Y'all love it. Y'all love it because y'all date them. Because I could tell you, my white
I've never
friends,
dated a white girl in my life.
black
I don't know what
men
you're talking about.
loved her. Like black men love my
There
white
you are.
I've never
girlfriend.
dated a
Y'all
white
date
woman.
It's a
them.
display. It's a display right now. What
I
she
don't
just
know.
sit there and said with the statement
White,
she made is an example. We do it. We all do it. She
your
just
white
made a
girlfriend
statement on
married.
that.
Your white girlfriend
You
married
do it.
to a black man.
You do it.
I
You
don't
do
see
it.
any white
No,
girls
no,
working at
no.
the
But I'm
shops
gonna
in the hood.
say it like this. She say some of the most outrageous shit you ever heard that a white woman would say to a black man. Like you a bum A and he don't say nothing. He don't blink an eye because
And
she
that's your friend?
No,
uh
wait.
Yeah.
Is your friend like culturally?
The
Is she?
fuck?
Bad
He
judgment of
probably been
character.
hearing it from
hey,
black
look, let
women.
me
That's
tell
why
you
he
Bad
accepted
something.
judgment
black
of
I
girls.
character.
can't I
He
can't
been
I
hearing it from
cannot get
black
in
women
people's
all his life. What
relationship.
difference do it make from a white girl?
Bruh,
Hold up, hold
you
up.
ain't no
I can't
saving
get
that.
in
If you let your white friends
God
talk to black niggas
damn.
and calling them bum ass niggas, you just as trash as he
God
is.
damn.
Because
well,
that's
let
your
me tell you
friend.
something.
Some
I
nasty
can't.
work.
Nasty work.
The fuck?
You know what? You're trash for even assuming that I should take over another grown woman's mouth and her body in her
All right.
relationship. And I should be the representation for all white or black women or women, period. I cannot affect her man should have stopped her from saying that. That
Yeah,
she's
her
having the
friend shouldn't
black
hold you
man that
accountable.
she's
You're right.
freaking. So to put it like this, it don't have to be
We
that
don't speak for
example.
them.
It could be how when you all get some money and you all date outside your race. So if that it's the
We're
same
not talking
thing
about
as
the
she
same
talk
thing now. Now you're talking about dating. We were talking about hiring. Now you're talking about dating. It's a
hiring,
whole nother conversation.
dating, it's
Can,
called inclusion. It's
can
inclusion.
we just make
So
sure that
if
it's
you
No,
can
no,
legally,
it's
include
not.
it's
But who
intellectually
did you call
and
trash
logically
though? Who did you
What?
call
unwise
trash?
CEO, whoever
to
this guy
conflate
is,
You're
Willie.
comparing
nepotism
a
and
workplace to
racism.
people's personal dating preferences. It's nowhere near the same.
I'm just
It's not
saying,
even remotely the
okay,
same.
well, listen, you can tomato. I use that
No,
as an
no. It's not
example.
even. It's
But
not
wait,
even that.
I use
It's like
that as an
God
tomatoes and
damn.
example.
cookies.
wait.
I
You're
use
comparing
that as an
tomatoes and
example
cookies right now.
because how can you say that a white woman can't walk into a business, but she can walk
That's
into
not
your
what I said.
bedroom? Hold up.
That's
Yes,
not
you
what I
did.
said.
You said we
No,
will
I
look at
didn't.
her funny if she walked into a business. And I said, but she walked into y'all bedroom all the time. That's
I
all I
told you I
said.
don't date white
Well,
women. So
my
what are you talking
Not
about?
you.
I
question
I'm
literally made it
saying
clear I don't
like
date white women. So
black men in the media, black men.
there's a lot more
Chris
black women
Brown.
dating white men than there are black
This is
men
why
dating white
they
women.
say we can't debate, by the way. This is
Hold
why.
up, because
You haven't actually engaged with the intellectual point. You've actually taken us off. Oh,
so my question is for the beautiful Marie. How you gonna get mad at Bohemian for saying ignorant, but you just call somebody trash?
he called me trash. He said if I let
Your white friend.
my white friend say that, then I'm trash.
I said no. What I said was if
No,
you
that's not
No,
what
allow
you
you
your
said.
white
said
friend,
that.
I'm gonna
You
tell you
said you
exactly
trash
what I
just
said.
like her.
I
And then
said
I
you're just
said,
as trash as she is for letting her
yes,
talk to a black man
exactly.
that
So
way and
I
pretending to
said
be
you're
her friend.
trashy and your mama too.
What's my
Well,
mom
you
got
didn't
to
say
do
your
with
Damn.
it?
mama. Now you
Like
saying
this is
mama. So
Yeah,
what?
hey,
Boy, I tell you.
this is the
because
thing,
I'm
right?
grown.
I
Because
see
I'm
What
ain't
you
nothing.
get
grown.
when
I
Jasmine
see ain't nothing.
Can I do a mental health check for those who are on the panel. Willie, are you okay?
Bro,
Are you
I
okay?
survived it the
I'm not
first time.
okay. I'm not okay.
Listen, bro, you gotta remember, I've been on here every time like one of these hyena bitches crash out. When old girl's sister did it to Ali, I was right there, right next to Hink, trying not to laugh. And now, you know what I'm saying, we got Miss Magoo doing it, they're saying to the whole panel, like, what are we talking about?
Wow.
Like,
Shout out to
and
JR.
listen, y'all got to go back and watch that just for
the common
Keith.
denominator, Willie. I don't
What?
know, man. Are you having
Willie,
a fresh shot or what?
I blame you for gaslighting her. Y'all sat up there and tried to pretend like a white woman or a white man saying he want a job because he white is the same as a black man having to do like affirmative action or DI. Come on, bro. You was gaslighting.
That's not what we did though. You gotta listen to the whole. That's not what we did. She made that point. Clout was cooking. Like
he was gaslighting her.
No,
That's
he
what racism
used
don't
her own
exist.
logic
Slavery don't
against
matter.
her. And but what the problem? We're talking about Jasmine Crockett and how she don't belong where she's at. She turned into Jasmine Crockett because she didn't belong on the panel in the conversation. It's like we always add the one ratchet bitch when we talk about some real serious shit, and then we add the ratchet hoes and they just start talking about some ratchet shit. Like that's what happened.
Yeah, I'm out of context. It just sounded like that's what was.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and she was drunk, bro. And she was shit faced.
It was.
I was gonna ask that. I was gonna say
It was peaceful. It was peaceful. The temperature did change when we brought it up there, and that's why Ann was getting kind of frustrated at. So she was making a valid point. Like it was a great conversation. Then when you came up there, things just went left.
So what was her issue with Bo?
Oh, so the statements that I heard when I came up were it sounded like misinformation and it sounded very ignorant. And so I was like, I came up there and I was like, I just can't listen to this ignorance anymore. And I wasn't necessarily calling them ignorant, but the things that I was hearing was ignorant. And ignorant just means that you don't know.
You just don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she got disturbed by that comment as well, the ignorant.
So this is what happened.
She tried to act like she was a new person at first, didn't she?
God,
She tried to act like she was a new person. She was all kind and empathetic when she first came in.
Y'all didn't know who y'all was dealing with.
She changed her name from Ali Dream to
Y'all didn't know what y'all was dealing with.
Same demon.
Then you're trash.
Same demon.
For all adults, I gave you an example of where I was going.
Y'all didn't know what y'all was dealing with.
And
I was a
and
victim.
look, and let me tell you something. You with your little stiff wig, you mad because you date white men.
God damn.
You right there. What's your name? Annie. You're in your stiff wig. You date white.
Oh.
Wait, which one, Annie?
On the bottom right corner. Why she just come for her? She ain't say nothing.
Why she cooking her like
she
that?
She caught astray. I don't even think she was saying that. She caught astray.
Yeah,
She said that to Annie because Annie called her out. She said, "How you gonna be mad at Bo for saying you ignorant, but you gonna call him trash?"
No, Ann said she didn't contribute anything intellectual to the conversation.
Right, what you been messy?
Thank you for telling me, because look, I didn't look. Put me up.
Yeah, she basically saying she wasn't smart in very few words. She took a shot.
So okay.
You know what's funny? I feel like it's rare that I get into it with women on here. I feel like I said something smart to Aisha before. I felt bad for that too after a while. I'm like, damn, I didn't have to go there. But, sometimes the panel get like that, But I don't think I would go to that extent to be like, get off topic and comment on something that has nothing to do with what, like, I feel like now you're taking it like real personal,
Yeah, but that's
building by a white woman or something. Like, why she so fixated on white women and black women? Like,
Well, she rolling a circle of girls that's it's a lot of like. So the girls that be on yachts and boats and like at the events, the celebrity events and all that, them her home girls, and she is right that a lot of the more exotic looking women get a lot of attention. I know some of her friends. She right about that.
Wait, who said that claim?
When you say more attention, do you mean that they sell more pussy?
No, they
I'm
just
not
get more
calling them
attention.
prostitutes. I'm saying like that, so some of the dudes
They get more offers for pussy.
will be trying to take one of them on vacation for the weekend. Like these are certain, like they IG baddies. You know what I'm saying? They real live IG baddies. She ain't pump faking with that. Like,
wait, who real live IG baddies?
the circle that she be kicking
Wait,
with.
you keep saying she. Who is she?
Ali.
Ali. Okay, so not Ann, the other girl. Ali.
Yeah, the other girl. Yeah.
So she bitter because she don't have access. Like she hit her ceiling. Is that what we're saying? I mean,
No.
Well,
No, she hasn't hit her ceiling yet. Like, I think Mark is saying, like, she at a point where she's like riding this wave. She going through life. You feel me? She right now she in the point of enjoying the wave. That's where she at. She like in the wave.
About the
So
fact that
no, I didn't bring her over here. Don't put that on me. I ain't bring her over here. I know her buddies from in the like being outside. But
whoa, tell us more.
Come on, bro. Like my homies be out, they didn't hung around before, shit like that.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I ain't do nothing. I'm just saying I seen them out, and she has some extremely beautiful friends, and they get a different type of treatment that most 99% of women not gonna get the treatment that her buddies be getting. So I don't know if she get the exact same treatment.
You know what? Ask
Ali.
Ali, can we hang out? Because I heard that I got the looks to do that. I just need the confidence, the attitude, the words, the walk.
You know what you typically run into when you go to the marina? Anywhere?
What?
White. Because that's where they're at. So that like they say it's dumb. Like yachts, white people typically are on yachts.
Hey, no, I met a lot of black
these is
people
black men. These all the black men got it bad.
And white. So question.
In Chicago, it's a lot of black people with yachts.
Are you saying that? Are you saying that she's the ugly one in her friend group?
Boats.
Ain't none of her friends ugly.
No. I say, are you saying that she's the ugly one in the group?
No.
She get the least attention compared to her buddies because she talking shit.
Yeah.
What do you mean that she's the ugly one? That's cool.
She get attention. It's just you got to see the girl. I'm gonna send you one of the girls, and you understand what I'm saying.
Pearl just ate down. She clocked her Tito.
Like really, we don't talk shit when we get the attention, right?
Y'all being messy, man.
No, she clocking T is making sense.
A little bit, like.
Oh, I thought we was just analyzing her psyche like we do with the other videos.
I mean, it's like y'all.
I thought we was analyzing her psyche.
These are the type of conversations y'all really be having.
I like talking about celebrities.
Oh, you should have came out yesterday. We saw that Cardi B.
Yeah, you'd have had a blast yesterday then.
Yeah.
You'd have had a good ass time.
Well, I should have came in the chat. Y'all know I'm good for coming in the chat, turning up the chat one time.
We had to start off with Cardi B having a baby, and then went to some Senator politics shit, and then ended up with Mrs. Magoo versus the Cabbage Patch Face. Like y'all had a great time yesterday.
This is a lot. It's a lot going on right now.
Willie, check your IG real quick.
Oh, shit.
It's a lot going on. I'm so disappointed in my girl. I'm so disappointed in my girl. She done got pregnant. She walking around like it's okay.
Oh, she's definitely the ugly one in the friend group.
I think she did that to people outside.
I'm gonna need that.
So, and all of them kind of.
I told you.
What?
He said that she basically the ugly one out the group, which confirms what I said. Like, if you a bad one and you getting attention, like you're nowhere talking shit. Like she's
wait, what's the Instagram?
She feel like she's supposed to be getting the attention, and she
Hold
not.
on, y'all. Hold on. We get to these super chats. Barnu, $3 super sticker. MKD podcast, $20. Big Ants, $11, $10, $5,000 for some men on the panel. Okay. The change back will be $4,850. Practitioner, $199. Good to see you again, ma'am. I treat you well. Chanel, for your nails. Microphone cap. Practitioner, $199. You can't make that after having kids. Come on now. I want to thank everybody that has contributed to the platform thus far. Hopefully you guys enjoy y'all weekend. It's already Friday already.
YouTube gonna take back them super chats eking they did because somebody gonna dispute them bitches on them stolen debit cards he was using.
Do me a favor, hit the like button on your way out. Thank you guys for tuning in. I think it'll be a live stream tomorrow night, so y'all make sure y'all tap in. Until next time.
You're going 4 out of 5.